What's up, Met fans? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Mets and Rob. Spring training live tonight. Jacob Degrom on the mound for spring training game number 3 of the season for the 2022 season, starting with some spring training games. So, if you're just tuning in to the first time to my channel, guys, don't forget to please hit on that subscribe button. And this is the norm that you usually see with my channel during the season, guys. I just wanted to make that clear to everybody who's joining in who hasn't been here before back last year when we were going through the season. What I usually do, I usually go on about a half hour to an hour before every game or most games when I go live, and we start with a pregame, and then we lead right into the game. We watch the game together. Unfortunately, I can't show the video of the game because then copyright issues, monetization issues. So you know the deal with that, but we will get basically a play-by-play of what's going on. If you're not watching a game, you're at work, you're doing something else, at least you know what's going on with the game while you're listening to the stream. So I'm glad everybody's here right now hanging out. So we're going to have a little bit of a pregame. I will be sharing my screen to show you the lineup. There was an adjustment about a few hours ago from one of the players. You probably heard it about James McCann. He's not going to be in the lineup. We'll see who's going to replace him, and we will go from there. And what I usually do, I share my screen to the MLB.com app, and you can see the live score, and they have the batter's box with the batter and all that stuff, show you the pitches. You know what to look at when we're looking at MLB.com. So that's the best I can do when it comes to video. So at least you get the updated score and updated information on who's pitching, who's batting, what pitches are throwing, and you can basically follow the game without actually watching the live game on TV. All right, guys. So what are we going to start with first? First, we're going to start with, before we go through the pregame and the lineup and who's pitching. We know who's pitching, Jacob Degrom, and we will go through that in a little bit. So we are going to say what up in the chat to everybody who's here right now. Once again, guys, don't forget to hit on that like button and hit on that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. And if you're tuning in, don't be shy to say what's up in the chat, guys. We're all here to watch some baseball and watch the best pitcher in baseball pitch his first start of the spring. So I'm going to say what up to everybody in the chat. Joe, Grant, member of Talkin Mets and Rob. Sean, a member of Talkin Mets and Rob. Webbs, Nelson, Victor, Paul. All right, hold on, guys. Getting there. All right, there we go. And there's somebody else. Let's see. And JP's. All right, guys. So there we go. So hopefully we're gonna have fun right now and go through the pregame that we usually gonna do before every time I go live during a game. So let's get right into it and look at the lineup that we will be seeing tonight at 6 o'clock when the game starts. So there we go right there. We know who's pitching for tonight. We are going to have Jacob Degrom against Jake Odorizzi, a veteran guy. We already know about him. He's pretty darn good. He's having his first start of the spring as well. Going down, we're going to check the Houston batting order. We got McCormick, Goodrum, Tucker, Brinson, Castro, Perez, Jones, and Degotti, and Salazar. And with our New York Mets, it's going to be Brandon Nimmo, Francisco Lindor, Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso, Robinson Cano playing second, Eduardo Escobar playing third, Connor in right field, Dominic Smith in left field, and the change that we saw a few hours ago was Tomas Nido was replacing James McCann because he has a little bit of a back tightness, and Tomas Nido is in catching tonight. So basically the lineup that you see here, I wouldn't be surprised if you see this on opening day. Obviously, minus probably, I don't think Cano would probably be starting. McNeil will be second, and you'll probably see Nimmo in right and Connor in left, and then you'll have with the DH, you'll probably have you'll have center field, you have Marte. When it comes to the DH, it really depends on probably who's pitching that day. So that is something that we would have to look at a little bit further when we get closer to the season. But this lineup is basically most of the guys that are going to be in the lineup. I doubt Robinson Cano is going to start the season in the lineup. You're going to see McNeil at second, Escobar at third, Connor in left, Nimmo in right, and Marte in center if he's ready for the season. And then with the DH, it really depends. It could be Dom Smith It could be J.D. Davis. It could be Robinson Cano. If we got a righty on the mound in the first week, the first day of the season, then we can actually go from there and figure out what's exactly going to happen with this lineup. But this is basically what the lineup's going to look at when the season starts. So we'll wait until the game starts for a few hours. At the time you get the top of the list and see what's going in the sports day today. Nobody really cares at the moment because it's only spring training, but keep up the scores up there for you guys, and we'll just keep on chatting in the chat right now and say what up. I see who else is here. We got Daniel. There we go. We got Daniel. Just give me a second, guys, because there's a few things with my chat that are being very annoying, but that's okay. We get through it. All right, there we go. Yeah, the chat's being very weird today, but that's okay. I can't really pull up everywhere. Anthony, how you doing? Let's see. Well, Daniel's in there, and all right. So we'll answer a few of your questions, guys, and we'll go from there. Yes, Joe. Happy Degrom Day. Let me just pull away the screen really quick. We'll put that back in about an hour when the game starts, so I can get a better understanding with this damn chat that's being very annoying. But that's okay, right? This is what we deal with on live television. All right, so happy Degrom Day. Grant says the GOAT. Sean, good evening. Webbs, what's up? What's up? Nelson, what's up? How you doing, guys? Yeah, it's gonna be nice. You know, look at Scherzer. I mean, you'll probably see Degrom pitch about 2 innings today. Not the craziness that Scherzer did yesterday when he pitched 5 innings and 75 pitches. I mean, that was a little insane. I mean, people were shocked that he did that much. But he's a workhorse, and you know he knows his body better than everybody. So I'm not gonna go crazy, and people got worried. I mean, he's gonna be up to 100 pitches the time opening day starts. So, you know, like I said, you'll probably see Degrom 2, maybe 3 innings, 2 most likely, but we'll see when we get to that point during the game. See if he goes more than 2 innings actually. So, but we'll see about that. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see a lot of his. He might throw a lot of his curveball because I was reading something the other day that he wants to put his curveball into the mix a lot more this season than he did in the last couple of years because everybody knows his slider, changeup, and fastball are his best 3 pitches, and his curveball, he might throw it once or twice a game. And he said in a report, I believe it was Steve Gelbs that did the interview with him, that he wants to work on his curveball a lot more during spring, so he has that as a 4th repertoire to give the batters more to be guessing, not just his slider, changeup, and fastball. So that's something to look at today if he's going to throw a lot more fast curveballs, just to see, get the feel for the curveball. And let's be honest, to see if his elbow can hold up during with that curveball as well, because that's one of the things that is actually really important when it comes to Jacob Degrom. He's the best pitcher in baseball. We know that, but we need him to be healthy for him. We even worry about what pitches he's throwing. So let me just fix my camera 1 second, guys. All right, there we go. Okay, sorry. Had to do things quick today. So yeah, that's the one thing with Jacob Degrom. It's going to be nice to see Scherzer and Degrom, Scherzer back to back. I mean, if these guys are healthy, it's very hard to extend losing streaks when you got every 5th day you're pitching one of these 2 guys who are an ace on any other team. And that's the biggest thing. We talked about that when we had Syndergaard and Harvey and Degrom and Matz and Wheeler. That, you know, it's very hard to have an extended losing streak because you always have a guy who can be aces in most other teams, you know, back in the day, 14, 15, and 16. So that's what we're looking at right here when it comes to Scherzer and Degrom. You know, you're going into a series. If it's a 4-game series, you know at least one of them are going to pitch in that series. You know, 3-game series, if you have a day off, you might be able to start your rotation the way you want it when Degrom and Scherzer pitch back-to-back. It's very hard to lose back-to-back games in a row when those 2 guys are on the mound. So the Mets always have an advantage when these 2 are on the mound. And the big thing with this team is to not have extended losing streaks. You know, too many years in a row, we would have 5, 6, 7-game losing streaks, and nobody stepped up to fix these losing streaks and get that win. And now I think it's going to be different. And I hope it's going to be different. As long as these guys are healthy, I don't think we're going to go through big losing streaks that we've seen in the past because of those two guys. Webs, I know you're talking about my video. Well, you know what? There was a lot of people talking about they want Jose Ramirez, which I think is more of a pipe dream than Ketel Marte. And that's the thing that I was talking about, why I did another video, because there was a lot of people, Webs, you were in the stream a lot. People were talking about Marte a lot in the stream over the last over the last week or two. And you know what? And people were also talking about Jose Ramirez. I honestly think it's more of a possibility of Conforto coming back or trading for Marte than I see Jose Ramirez coming to the Mets in a trade. Because unless you're going to give 4 or 5 of your top 15 prospects for Jose Ramirez, you're not going to get him. You know, at least Ketel Marte, he has 1 year left on his deal with 2 club options. So basically he has a 1-year deal, and it's up to the team to either take on that option or not. So, you know, there wasn't a lot of details in that contract, is if, you know, like really get deep into it, saying that if he got traded, those club options turn into player options. I don't know exactly all those details. I tried to find that out. I can't find it anywhere. If you guys can find it, please let me know, because I couldn't find it for the life of me. And I was trying to find it because I would have put that info in my video, but I couldn't find it. And I was honest with you guys in that video. So, you know, I think you could put Dominic Smith, and you can also put, you know, a top 20 prospect. I put Jake Magnum, the 17th ranked prospect in the Mets system. That could be enough. If you want to put McNeil instead of Dom, that is up to you guys. But I think Dom can actually do it. You know, I think Dom all around is probably has more value at this point than Jeff McNeil, especially with the Arizona Diamondbacks, who basically need everything on the roster at this point. So I was just thinking, why not try to find a guy who's another 300 hitter, and he don't have a lot of power. You know, he can hit 16, 17 home runs. I think he hit 32 or 33 in 2019, but everybody was hitting the ball out of the yard with the live ball, the juice ball and everything like that. So, you know, 16, 17 home runs with about 65 RBIs. I take that when he bats 300, because you can bat him anywhere in the lineup. You know, if you need him in the leadoff spot, you need him, you know, batting 2. You can even bat him 9th. You can bat him 6th. You can bat him 7th. You can bat him all around the lineup. And I think that would be very nice for Buck Shaw to play around with the lineup every now and then. So, you know, give some of the guys days off. And, you know, with this lineup, as we've been talking about for a month now, that this team needs a big bat. Marte is not a big bat. He's a quality bat. And if you're not going to go out and get that big-time bat in Jose Ramirez, or not bring back Michael Conforto, well, stack more quality bats where you know you're going to get guys that put bat on the ball, and you have a better chance of errors happening, you know, maybe C&I singles, something like that. Because what we lacked last year, and I keep on repeating myself on this, we kept on not putting the bat on the ball in key spots where runners in scoring position and just runners on base. That has to change. And with this lineup, we might not have a lot of big power bats, but we do have quality hitters and professional hitters that will put bat on the ball. And when you put the ball in play, anything can happen. And I don't see why more teams don't do that. You know, we saw it with the Royals in 2015 and 2014 and 2015. They made defense make plays. And I think this is the lineup that Epler, Showalter, and Cohen put together and saying, we need this team to not be power hitters all over up and down the lineup. We need guys who are contact hitters, who are doubles hitters, who put the bat on the ball, let the defense make plays. And almost 7 out of 10 times, something's going to go wrong. You know, if they're playing in a shift, the ball might see through the infield and you get a base hit, a run scores. All the situations with errors. That's what the team needs to do. And if you're not going to get those power bats behind Alonso, I'd rather see guys that you know can put the bat on the ball and get the runs in. A sac fly, an error, a C&I single. Those little plays can win you ball games. And we saw a lot of games last year that the Mets couldn't even get that runner in from third for a sac fly with less than 2 outs. Guys in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Couldn't drive him in. That has to change this year. And I think this lineup can do that more often than not. Even though I'd rather a power hitter, Marte would be a nice upgrade in this lineup. Victor, I had a good day. I'm a little tired. Right before I went live, I get a text from my boss saying I have to be in at 1 a.m. So, what can I do, right? I was supposed to be off tomorrow, but, what can you do, right? What you do, you live and work. That's what you do. You live your life, you work, and you watch baseball. At least that's me. Paul, it feels like a phone call right now. Grant, tired. Yeah, man. You know what? Long day. I could just tell. JP, I'm not friends with Wardy, but we don't need to talk about him. Brian McHugh, LGM. Yes, sir. Anthony, well, the Yankees better hurry up getting their number 2 starter because honestly, I don't know who you trust. I mean, you could trust Severino if he's healthy, but that's a big if. But you know what? They're taking a long time to get that Oakland deal, even Manaya or Montaz, and you know what? They better hurry up with that. Paul, you know what? I think today, now, I don't know what I read from the Steve Gelb's interview with Jacob Degrom. I think it was like 2 days ago on SNY. It wasn't that he wasn't going to throw those pitches, but he was going to try to throw a lot of curveballs. I don't know if it's going to be this start, but he says in the spring he wants to throw a lot of curveballs against teams. I don't know if that's just to throw him off, so when the season starts, he just sticks to his 3 best pitches. I don't know. But we do know that Jacob Degrom does have 4 pitches. He never throws his curveball, maybe once or twice in a game. And when those other 3 pitches are working perfectly fine, he never throws his curveballs. So I guess he just wants to get a feel for it just in case if he needs it in the season. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, again, we'll look today to see if he throws a lot of curveballs. And that would be a big key of why he wants to do it. He wants to get a feel. And you know what? Sometimes you might just find the right feel for that curveball. And now all of a sudden he found that. If he finds a curveball and now he has 4 really solid pitches, well, I mean, you might as well give us the W because he ain't going to let any runs, maybe not even any hits. So, that's something that, DeGrom's always trying to work on his game. He is a perfectionist and he always wants to get better. So I'm not surprised he's going to work on his curveball. Will Maddock, what up, buddy? How you doing? Ken, how you doing, buddy? Ken, what's up? I have to find you first. John, haha, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, Will Maddox, that's awesome, man. I like that. That's cool. You get to see a lot of those prospects over the weekend. Yeah, Vientos and Mauricio, they're big time. And you know what? Mauricio too. And Vientos and Mauricio got put down to the minors. They got cut from the main roster, which is okay. They just want to give them playing times. And you know what? Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Vientos early on in the season, especially if Cano falls apart and is not good. There's a pretty good chance the Mets will cut him and bring up Vientos as a guy you can use as a DH spot as well. Again, Mauricio, I still think he's primed to be a trade bait during the trade deadline. I still feel that way. But again, if the Mets keep him, it's not a bad thing. That's a guy you'll probably see up next year along with Brett Beatty and possibly Alvarez. So, it's nice to see the Mets got some. Their top 5, 6 prospects are really something very interesting to look at this year. Victor, that was my trade proposal. That wasn't like some type of sources that I got. It was my proposal because people were talking about that on my last couple of streams with Marte and Jose Ramirez, and I think Jose Ramirez is a pipe dream. And I was like, let's talk about Ketel Marte because there is ways to get Ketel Marte if the Mets really want him. And again, I still think that the Mets are working their way towards getting Michael Conforto. I just feel that like he's gonna come back, on his hands and knees begging for a contract. because nobody else seemed like they're going to give it to him. And you know what? If the Mets give him a similar 1-year deal around his qualifying offer, he'll probably take it at this point, since it's only 2 weeks until the season starts. So if they don't do that, then I can see them maybe trying to make a trade for Ketel Marte. Don't hold your breath, but I feel like there's two options here: Michael Conforto or Marte. But that's just my opinion. Yeah, Nito and Guillermo only two from the bench mob. But you know what? That just shows you that the bench is really good. When you got Dom, when you got David, when you got Cano on the bench with Luis Guillorme and Nito, that's a pretty damn good bench. You know what? Two or three of those guys can be starting in the everyday lineup with another team. So it's nice to see those guys on the bench. You know, obviously those guys want to start. But you know what? You have a strong bench. You got a strong rotation. The lineup is solid. It's not great, but it's very good quality in this lineup. You know, you got consistency in this lineup, something that the Mets did not have. You know, I trust Marte to be consistent if he starts the season on time. He was taking batting practice, hitting the ball off the tee, so he should, if everything goes well, he should be ready for opening day. Nimmo is very consistent as long as he stays healthy. Lindor, I'm not saying he's going to be consistent right away, but I feel like he's going to have a bounce back year. You know what you're getting from Alonso? You're getting a lot of power, a lot of home runs, and a lot of doubles, and driving in a lot of runs. You know what you're going to get. Depending on who's going to be behind Alonso, Escobar, another professional batter who can bat 260, 270. He's another one that puts the bat on the ball, a doubles machine. Same thing with McNeil. If you expect McNeil to be a guy like he was in 2019, great. That's the guy that we can really count on to put the bat on the ball. Another guy who gets on base. And you keep on going down the line. You know, if it's Dominic Smith or if it's Kana, another guy puts the bat on the ball. So, and one thing I have to say about Ketel Marte before we go a little further with your comments, guys. If you look at his strikeout total, he's never had 100 strikeouts in a year. And 2 of the years, 2017 and 2018, he played 135 and 144 games. And he struck out less than 80 times. So that's a big deal. That's a guy that works the counts, puts the bat on the ball, and doesn't strike out a lot. That's very rare in today's game. And that's something that the Mets can really use in this lineup as well. So I'm going to continue. Rocky, how you doing, buddy? La Potencia. What's up, buddy? Yeah, Ken, I think the Mets had, I don't know if it was the Mets, the Pirates, and there was one other team that had one of the longest losing streaks. And the longest losing streaks was when we had that long West Coast teams that we faced. When we faced the Giants, the Dodgers, the Padres, all in a row. It was all home and road. And that sucked. That killed us. La Potencia. No. You see, this is the first time I feel very confident in my roster for fantasy for once, finally. Because when I was picking through it, you know, I kept a lot of the players in my queue. And then when I looked at it and people weren't really taking my guys in my queue, I was like, oh, this roster is going to be great. So right now, I'm not going to trade anybody at this point. Not yet. But I feel very confident in my roster this year. Roberto, member of Talkin Mets with Rob. Yeah, I agree. You know, I was still a little shocked, Roberto, when Scherzer went 5 innings. And, you know, I know Scherzer is a veteran and Buck Showalter is listening to his veteran pitcher. But, you know, that's a little scary. He pitched 5 innings and 75 pitches, and it was his first start of the year. Yes, he's been working out. Yes, he pitched a little bit in sim games. But, I mean, my God, did they need to actually, you know, rein it in a little bit? You know what? I don't care if Scherzer goes 8 innings in his first start of the year when the season starts. Listen, give me 5 or 6 innings around 80 pitches and throw the bullpen out there, because we need these guys healthy the entire year. We can't have them blow out their arms, or even if they are healthy, get tired by the end of the year. We don't need that right now. But yes, I still think we need a big bat. That's why I still think Michael Conforto and Ketel Marte are still 2 guys to look at. If the Mets don't go after Conforto, look for them to make a trade for Marte. Yeah, they're not trading for a Ram. J-Ram. They're not. It's way too many prospects they have to give up, and the Mets are not going to do that. A lot of potential. Yeah, he did. He did look really sharp yesterday. You know, five innings, 3 hits, 1 run. I mean, you know, in a regular season game, he probably would have went 7, no problem. I mean, he had 75 pitches after 5, so you know, another 25 to 30 pitches gets into 100, 105 pitches, gets him to 7 innings. You probably give up 2 runs. You know, it's just a matter of look. This team is going to pitch this year. We're not going to give up a lot of runs. The problem is, can we score runs? And we're going to notice very quickly, guys. That's one thing we definitely going to know. Jose, how you doing, buddy? Andrew, how you doing? Mike says, pass on Conforto, turn the page. I tend to agree, but at this point, this lineup needs some help. Larry says he's still signing with the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. Well, at this point, you know, he might have to play for a team like that, the Long Island Ducks or something. Well, yeah, that's the big reason why the teams are not signing Conforto. But you know what? It's not even that. Look how long it took Nick Castellanos to get a deal as well. You know, who had a draft pick attached as well. It's not just about the draft pick either. You know, I mean, Castellanos had a really solid All-Star season last year, and nobody was, you know, banging at the door to sign him as soon as the lockout ended, or even before the lockout. So it's the same thing. You know, teams are scared off by the draft pick compensation, obviously, but at the end of the day, the Mets can come back to him and say, "Listen, we'll give you a similar deal like the qualifying offer. Come back, show yourself. If he's as bad as last year, we're really not hurting the team, are we? If he has a better year than last year, even a little bit, he's helping the team. So I don't see it's a bad thing bringing him back on a 1-year deal. You know, there's some people that might not say that, but if you look at his career stats, he is one of the guys in this lineup that was always had the numbers every year, even though he was hot 2 weeks and cold 3 weeks. He always had his numbers that were over 25 home runs, you know, 80 to 85 RBIs. And he just had a bad year last year. And, you know, everybody who was clamoring to keep McNeil wanted to throw away McNeil's bad year last year, but are not willing to throw Michael Conforto's bad year when he has a better track record than Jeff McNeil, which is kind of odd to me when it comes to some Met fans. Well, Larry, this team's trying to win in the next 2 to 3 years. That's the reason. And, you know, everybody who's so ready for the prospects, there's a reason why Steve Cohen and Epler are getting guys that are around between 30 and 34 years old, because they're telling you we want to win with Jacob Degrom and Max Scherzer over the next 2 to 3 years, because if we don't, Jacob Degrom is going to be 36, 37 years old, maybe even 38 years old. Scherzer is going to be gone. Carrasco is going to be gone. We basically have no rotation in 4 years besides an older Degrom. So even if the young kids come up, there's no guarantee that these guys are going to bring us to the top of the pedestal and win a championship. We have a 2 to 3 year window to win a championship. That's what Billy Epler and Steve Cohen are telling you. That's why he hasn't gave anybody over a 4-year deal, because he's telling you within that time frame, we're trying to win a championship with the best pitcher in baseball, and Max Scherzer, who is basically another best pitcher in baseball, with Chris Bassett, which is a solid number 3, with Carrasco, with Walker in your top 5. These guys might not be on the team in 4 years. The only guy you might see is Jacob Degrom at 37 years old. So there's a lot of things to look at here. We don't know about Matthew Allen. We don't know about any of these prospects. The New York Mets are telling you we have a 2 to 3 year window to win a World Series. That's why they got Escobar and Cano and Marte and guys that are 30 and above. That's the reason. You know, if they were so concerned about 5, 6 years from now, they would have signed the Chris Bryant. They would have signed the Nick Castellanos. They would have signed a big contract and a big name bat for those amount of years, but they didn't do that. They're telling you 2 to 3 year window to win a championship, and then we will adjust if that doesn't happen. Yeah, John, I'm catching up on the messages. They're coming in fast and furious. I promise you that. Yes, Mike. Yeah, Mike. I don't know why everybody's so obsessed with Jose Ramirez. The New York Mets are not giving 4 of their top 15 prospects. They're not doing it. Look what the Braves gave up for Matt Olson. That's the type of deal the Mets have to do to get Jose Ramirez. And yes, they gave up their, what was it, their 2, their 7, their 8, and their 14 prospect to get Matt Olson. So are you willing to give up Brett Beatty? Let's see, Brett Beatty, Ronnie Mauricio, Jake Magnum, or another guy you want to talk about, Jose Budo, and you want to give another top 10 prospect? You're willing to give all of that for Jose Ramirez? The Mets aren't doing that, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. Todd, I don't know if anybody's going to Conforto. Somebody's going to. And that's why, and that was another thing that I spoke about when it came to with Conforto. Not only Conforto had a bad year, but he has a draft pick attached to them. Nobody's going to trust Conforto. And the only 1-year deal he's probably going to take is if the Mets offer it to him. You know, unless another team comes in and sign. See, no team is going to sign the guy with a draft pick compensation to a 1-year deal because you might lose that guy after 1 year and you're losing a draft pick. So unless somebody's going to sign him to a multi-year deal, they're not going to sign him just because of the fact that he has a draft pick attached to him. And no team's going to sign him on a 1-year deal and lose a draft pick. It doesn't make sense for that team. Economically and draft pick wise, it doesn't make sense. That's why the Mets are still the favorite to get Conforto if they want them. They might not want him, but it seems odd to me that the Mets can get a better bat than Marte for $20 million for a 1-year deal, which in all honesty is not a lot considering the fact that if Conforto has a really good year and bats 265, 25 home runs and 80 RBIs, you know how much better he will be than most people in this lineup other than Alonso? Probably almost everybody in this lineup. So, I mean, everybody's so worried about Michael Conforto, but can't wait to watch Jeff McNeil playing at second base, who is not a very good second baseman. I mean, if people don't realize that, and I don't care about the metrics, I don't care about the analytics. You watch him every day with your eye test, he's very bad at turning double plays. And that was a big problem last year with Lindor. And guess what? Guess who's up the middle? Lindor and McNeil. Manuel, how you doing? Health will be the biggest issue this year. I feel they can afford to lose anyone, especially if the rest of the league stays healthy. Well, yeah, I mean, if, there's a lot of ifs in that, Manuel. You understand that. If Ronald Acuna comes back with his knee injury, there's no guarantee that he wouldn't turn the wrong way in right field and pop his knee again. Soroka had 2 Achilles surgeries within a year and a half. There's no guarantee he's going to be healthy. So there's a lot of guys on the Braves that if they're not healthy, well, the Braves are going to have a little bit of an issue. The same thing with the Phillies. The Phillies have health issues as well. And obviously the Mets are older, but if you look at this team on paper, they're probably the second best team in the NL East. The Braves are the best team in the NL East. There's no doubt about that. Everybody's got to stay healthy on their teams. You could say that about anybody. If Max Fried goes down on the Braves, well, their ace is gone. Now what? So there's a lot of things. Health is the biggest key for any team. Of course, we're looking at the Mets here that, they're a little bit older than most teams, granted. But if these guys are healthy, you got 2 aces at the top of your staff and a lineup that's a really solid quality lineup. Well, Mike, yeah. I mean, again, everybody's also obsessed with the bullpen as well. Name me a bullpen that you trust in the league. Not a closer, a bullpen, a full bullpen. There's not a lot. we all know bullpen's a crapshoot. Every year, the same bullpen that was the best in baseball could be the top. It will be 15th in baseball the following year, and it could be the same guys in that bullpen. So I think that's what the Mets are counting on. There's a real possibility that anybody in this bullpen could have the best year of their lives, like Aaron Loup. Did anybody expect Aaron Loup to have under a 1 ERA? When he was with Tampa, he had like a 3.60 ERA. So you can't judge how a guy's going to play. I know my Wi-Fi is a little choppy at the moment. I'm sorry if I'm stalling a little bit, but it's going to kick back in a second. So that's the thing with bullpens. Bullpens are a year-by-year basis. You just hope that your team has a good bullpen at this moment. Rest RIP Rod. Absolutely, guys. Don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. We got about 25 minutes until the first ball. 6:10 is the start time, so we got a little over 35 minutes until the first pitch with Degrom on the mound. And I will take you from the pregame right into the stream for the game. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, I can't show a video of the game, the live feed, because copyright issues, they'll cut my stream off. But I will be putting MLB.com so we can watch how they show the pitches and the batter up there and the score and all that fun stuff. And I'll show you what it looks like just like that. We already know what that is. That's what I'm going to show you. And it's going to have the batter and the pitcher and all that fun stuff. So we'll go through that. But don't forget to hit on that like button, guys. Let's get the stream out to more people and more Met fans. Yeah, but you know what, Larry? The Phillies don't have a bullpen. The Braves have a decent bullpen. The Nationals have no bullpen. The Marlins have no bullpen. So half the league doesn't have good bullpens. It's just a matter of if your bullpen shows up this year. That's basically what it is. And there's one thing that you can easily get at the trade deadline is that it's bullpen arms. Every year you see it. Relievers getting traded everywhere. So if the Mets are not working out bullpen-wise, they're going to get an arm or two to bring in. We saw it with the Mets a couple in 2015 when they brought in Tyler Clippin and Addison Reed at the deadline. Those deals are always there to be made. So don't concern yourself too much on the bullpen until you see these guys actually pitch, because you never know. Trevor May gave up tons of home runs last year, but if he cuts those home runs down, he could be one of the better relievers in the game. Edwin Diaz, if he cuts his crap out and actually, pitches like he should be pitching with the stuff he has, well, guess what? We have a really good closer now. Same thing when it comes to Seth Lugo, who was injured a lot last year, who didn't have a good year. If he bounces back, well, guess what? We have a good bullpen all of a sudden. And then you also got to look at Drew Smith, and you also got to look at Sean Reed-Foley, who were two guys who came up and pitched well last year before they got hurt. So there's a lot of tangibles when it comes to a bullpen. Michael Conforto. There's not a lot of guys that can hit 25 home runs in this lineup. Maybe Escobar can do it. I mean, who else you got? Because Connor's not doing it. McCann's not doing it. Maybe if Dominic Smith gets enough playing time, he can do it. But honestly, Michael Conforto will hit you 25 home runs. He will. Every year, he did it except for last year. Mike Beatty's not going to break camp. I know he's still a part. I think he's still part of the roster that's still on the everyday bulk of players that are still on the spring training rosters right now. But I don't think he's going to break camp. The problem with him breaking camp is that they're going to put him on the bench if he breaks camp. So you rather just they're going to be a double-A with Alvarez and Mauricio. They're going to be together on in double-A. So, and they'll probably quickly get up to triple-A probably in the first couple of months, or almost three of those guys. So, but I expect Beatty to be up next year. Why didn't we get Schwarber? I don't know. That would have been a nice lefty bat in the middle of this lineup. I guess the Mets were concerned that the fact that they have a lot of DHs already on this team. And paying what, $75, $80 million for basically a guy who could only play DH. Well, I guess the Mets worried about that. I mean, I would have took Schwarber no problem, but the Mets didn't see the need, I guess. Well, I mean, you can say that, Mike, with Castellanos, but he's not a very good defensive outfielder, and he played in a bandbox in Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. And even when he went to the Cubs, as we all know, Wrigley Field is a hitter's ballpark, especially in the summer months. And he got traded around that time in the summer. So when the ball flies out of Wrigley Field. So, he's going to Philadelphia. He's going to hit a lot of home runs because that's another bandbox. Cut about 6 or 7 home runs off his total if he was at Citi Field. I would have minded Castellanos, but I don't think he's better than Conforto. Put Castellanos in Citi Field 81 games a year. There's a pretty good chance that he'll have similar numbers than Michael Conforto. Yeah, Merlin Full. Marte is hitting off a tee right now. Yep. Steven, how you doing? Yeah, well, you know what? That doesn't mean the Mets didn't offer them contracts either. We don't really know all the details, if you notice something about the Mets organization for the last 2 years, there hasn't been a lot of leaks about a lot of rumors. These are probably certain things that you might have heard from agents to reporters about rumors regarding the Mets and another player. So I'm not really worried about the fact that the Mets could have gotten somebody or they shouldn't have. They didn't do it. There's still a guy out there that who had one bad season in his career out of the last 6. And the same Met fans who are ready to throw out Conforto are the same ones that are backing Jeff McNeil, who had a bad season last year, but only had really 1.5 good season in his career. So I don't understand why people are throwing Conforto out of the way, but want to give a chance to Jeff McNeil, who had one really bad year and one really good year for the most part. So I don't understand a lot of people that are complaining about Conforto and don't want to see him when Conforto had at least 5 consistent years where you can see his numbers, and you can tell me that our lineup don't need that, but you'll be crazy. I think they're going to be safe for Marte. If he's not feeling right, there's no need to rush him. We have enough guys that can, Nimmo can go to center. You could put, Kana in right. You could put Smith in left. It's not the end of the world. If he misses a week, I'm not really worried about that. Just get him right. Yeah, Leaf. I don't know if that was a good deal by the Red Sox, honestly. I don't really like Trevor Story. He's a very good glove, but I don't trust him outside of Coors Field. And that's a lot of money to give him in a lot of years for a guy who's going to the Red Sox. So. Oh, Victor, yeah, Michael Conforto, I'm telling you, unless he sells a multi-year deal, he's not going anywhere else but the Mets. I'm telling you that now. The Mets are slowly waiting in the wings for Michael Conforto to slowly come back to him. Because unless he gets a multi-year deal, there's no team that's going to sign Michael Conforto to a 1-year deal and then give away that draft pick to the Mets. It makes no sense for that team. Why do you want to keep a guy who in 1 year can leave your team and you lose that draft pick? That it's not economically smart at all. So that's why I think the Mets are in a driver's seat in this situation. Why are they going to approach Conforto with either a 2-year deal or a big 1-year deal? They're just not going to do it. They're going to be like, okay, take the qualifying offer, the similar numbers, and 1 year, and we'll talk. And that's it. Well, Mike, I've been saying that for months. I don't see why McNeil is on this team. Honestly, I really don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. He's not a very good second baseman. He can't turn double plays. Him and Lindor have a problem. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what they said to reporters. If a grown man chokes another grown man, you don't forget that. I'm sorry. I don't care how, if you're teammates or not. You don't forget that ever. There's always going to be that issue with those two, no matter what. As soon as somebody makes a bad play, doesn't play in the right position, or messes up a routine double play, then there's going to be more problems. And I don't, Buck Showalter might put a lid on that, but I don't see the point of keeping McNeil when you can easily trade him for a relief pitcher like a Taylor Rogers, in my opinion. Yeah, JP, a lot of the players, Edwin Diaz did as well, avoided arbitration as well. They signed a deal as well. So, Mike, there's no need for Greinke. I don't like Greinke. Greinke can't pitch in New York. I'm sorry. He's not a guy that can pitch in a big spotlight type of city. And no, LA is not a big spotlight type of city. Nobody cares about the Dodgers out there until they're starting to win. I'm looking for the deal right now. Let's see. Alonso got a 1-year, $7.4 million contract. So that's a nice deal for Pete Alonso there. Nice little bump in pay. Oh, God, let's not bring back Todd Frazier, guys. No. Nah, Beatty and Alvarez are untouchable, guys. Sorry. I'm catching up on the comments, guys. Yeah, I mean, the Mets could do that. I mean, they were willing to offer him the qualifying offer at $19.4 million. So another $1 million more, $1.5 million to sign Conforto. And they were willing before last season to give him $100 million contract. So you can't tell me they don't like the guy after just 1 year. It makes no sense. Paul, I might think about that. It'd be nice, if the Mets show that on SNY. Yeah, I might do that every now and then. But I'll definitely look into that, Paul. Hey, Tegman, what's up, buddy? I wouldn't say there's rumors. My video was based on my interpretation of what the Mets could use and what they would need to give up to get Marte. I didn't get that from a source. That was just my own thoughts and my own opinions. What the Mets clearly need in this lineup is another. If you're not going to get a big bat, get another solid quality bat, which Marte is. And I thought, let me put up a trade proposal. Let me throw up his stats and show what the Mets could use in this lineup. And Marte is that guy. If you don't want a big bat guy, he's only making $8 million this year. If you don't want Conforto, you save about $12 million if you're going to give him $20 million. So, yeah, I mean, not exactly rumors, but it was just my thoughts and opinions. Yes, the game is televised today on SNY, guys. Yeah, the Marlins bullpen was ranked 7th. Yes. Again, solid. But you know what? Just because it was ranked 7th this year doesn't mean they won't be ranked 15th this year. So, bullpens are a year-by-year basis, no matter who's the name. MB, no. Stalin Castro, no. We don't need utility help, guys. We really don't. We got a bench. We have our lineup. Depending on if the Mets get a Marte or sign Conforto, this is the lineup you're probably going to see. Oh, yeah, Shohei Foley, he's a little quirky on the mound, but he was very good for us. He was one of our better relievers going through the stretch before he got hurt. Well, we'll see. You still got Dominic Smith. I'm thinking, JD Davis, I know nobody likes him on defense, but he is a guy that can play third base. So, and Guillaume can play second, third, or short. So you have enough, depending on who might make the team. I don't know if the Mets are going to still bring up Vientos. I thought that would have been an option. They cut him really quickly to the minor league camp. So we'll see. Again, somebody might still, wake up the eyes for a second and, open the eyes and say, oh, this guy's really good. MB, I'm sorry, but we need another bat. And I don't know why nobody really understands that, because this lineup is good, but wouldn't you want this lineup to be a little bit more over the top and much better than what it is right now? Because the only guy that's going to hit 25 plus home runs on this roster is probably Pete Alonso. Yes, you can get probably 4 or 5 guys that can hit 20 home runs, but I still think we need another big bat in this lineup. And there's not a lot of people that want Conforto back. James, do you want Do you want to keep McNeil? Yeah. I don't know if you want to trust Lindor hitting 30 home runs. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I could see him hitting 25 probably pretty well. I mean, James, have you looked at his stats? Last year was his worst year of his career. He's very consistently hitting 25 home runs, 80 to 85 RBIs every year, except for that 1 year when he got hurt, when he popped his shoulder out. I'm sorry. Conforto's streaky. Everybody's streaky, guys. I mean, everybody's streaky. You know, Brandon Nimmo was streaky. Everybody's streaky. Alonso was streaky. McNeil is very streaky. So I don't understand. You know, everybody loves McNeil. They want him to stay, but yet in 3 years of his career, 3.5 years, he had one good year and one bad year. But everybody's willing to give McNeil a chance when 7 years of Conforto or 6 years of Conforto, he had 5 really quality good years and one bad year. But nobody wants Conforto back. I don't understand that, especially when the Mets have no other option. Giovanni, I agree. I think Kana is an everyday player. He can hit you 15 home runs. He's not a power guy, but he can bat 260. He can hit you 15, 16 home runs and knock in 60 RBIs. He's not going to be a guy that is going to, you know, be one of the better players in the lineup. He might surprise, but he's a decent defender as well. But we do need Conforto. I'm sorry. I'd rather have Kana on the bench and make our bench stronger and put Conforto in right field and Nimmo in left. I'd be happy with that. Well, you know what? If the Red Sox are in it, maybe they'll think about trading him for a big time starting pitcher at the trade deadline. You never know. You never know. R.I.P. Rod. You never know. You know, signing Trevor Story through all those years is basically a safety blanket if they somehow don't extend Bogarts. But even if they sign Bogarts, now you have a 1-2 punch in Story and Bogarts, and now you have Mayer, a guy who's your top prospect that you might be able to need in a trade. Maybe if they need that one starting pitcher to get them over the top, maybe they're very close to the NL East top, and you're like, wow, we need a starter. You know, maybe a big time starter comes available. You know, maybe a Luis Castillo might become available, or a Sean Manaea, or a Frank Montas, and they want Mayer. They might get rid of him just to put that team over the top. Anthony, I like the Chris Bassett trade. I know we gave up JT Ginn, but you know what? Chris Bassett could be an ace on some teams, and definitely a number 2 on most teams. And having a guy as your number 3 that can be a number 2 or a number 1 on most teams, you can't dislike the trade. You know, JT Ginn, you know, he can be a guy that can be up in 2 years and be at the top of your rotation. But again, the Mets are trying to win in the next 2 or 3 years. They're not playing games. That's the reason why they haven't gave anybody longer than a 4-year deal in this offseason. And I think there's a reason for that. Yeah, Giovanni, look. I like McNeil. I really do. I want him to be a 300 hitter. Again, if he's not a 300 hitter, McNeil is useless on his team. He's not good enough defensively to keep in the lineup. And if he's not going to be that 300 hitter, where are you going to bat him? If he's going to bat 300, you can bat him ninth as like a second leadoff hitter. But if he's batting 260, 250, he's useless in this line. What are you going to bat him? 6th? 7th? It doesn't make sense. If Jeff McNeil, what the Mets expected him to be is a 300 hitter. If he's a 300 hitter, great. You bat him 9th, he'll be a second leadoff hitter. We're good to go. But if he doesn't, I don't see where he is. He's a guy who might bat 250. He's not going to hit a lot of home runs. So what is the point of having him on this team when teams have been asking for McNeil? I just don't see it. And he's not a very good second baseman. I don't care what the analytics say. Some people like, oh, he was a very good defensive player when you look at the analytics. Okay, great. But look at the eye test. He has a hard time turning double plays. He doesn't position very well at second base. I'd rather see him in the outfield. He's a better outfielder than an infielder. But again, the Mets are willing to do it. Hopefully it doesn't burn them. Yeah, I believe they could have used a big bat, but I can't be mad about the offseason the Mets had. It was a pretty good offseason, really good offseason. Yeah, I thought he was a good outfielder. I think he was a good right field. I think he could play outfield no problem. Second base worries me. I don't think his range is that good, and he's very bad at turning double plays. And with already the issues that him and Lindor have, and believe me, they still have them. Just because they tell you they're not, they're there. You don't choke a grown man and you forget about it. I'm sorry, you just don't. And at the end of the day, when a routine double play doesn't get made, when McNeil or Lindor make a bad play, and the other guy gets pissed off at him, then what? What's going to happen after that? Yeah, but Evo, I understand that you take out last year, but why would you want to take out McNeil's last year, but Met fans don't want to take out Conforto's last year? That's what I don't understand. That's why it gets me a little annoyed that people are willing to give McNeil a shot, but Conforto has been consistent for 5 years out of his 6-year career. But yeah, people can't wait to get rid of him. But that production ain't coming from anywhere else. I'm sorry. It's not. Again, just because McNeil's OPS is good, what does that really mean? He batted 45 to 50 points less than his career average. His home runs were down. His RBIs were down. Everything was down. But we're willing to give McNeil another shot after 1 year. We can throw that out, but nobody wants to throw out Michael Conforto's one bad year. I don't understand that. Angel, a member of Talkin Mets and Rob. What's up, guys? So it's 5:57, guys. So the Mets got a new theme song and thing ready to go, I believe. So in a couple of minutes, guys, I'm going to switch it over to the screen itself. I'm going to put the a larger screen for the game, and then my little square box in the corner. Angel, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, again, Angel, I understand that, but I'm sorry. I look at the eye test. There was a lot of times Jeff McNeil had problems turning a double play. Those metrics ain't really analytically shown. There was enough times when he was out of position, turning double plays was difficult for him, and it's the same thing. I just look. I'm not saying McNeil is JD Davis in the infield. He's not. He's a serviceable second baseman. McNeil is a better outfielder than an infielder. And that's just obvious. From the eye test for a couple of years when McNeil played outfield a lot, he's a better outfielder than an infielder. If this guy does not hit 300, I don't see what the Mets do with him. I really don't. I don't. Yeah, but he hit 30 home runs once in his career, Angel. I mean, every other year it was 25, 26. All right, that's fine. But I'm not looking at Escobar as a guy who's going to be a 30 home run guy. I'm just not. He hit it once in his career. Yeah, James. Look, I'm looking at Tucker and Degrom is going to be very interesting for sure. You know what, Angel? I don't think so. I think Cano is going to get the first few games and see how he does. That's what I think. I think Buck has enough respect for Cano to give him a chance. Well, I mean, that's the reason why Cano has been almost in all of these games so far. I know it's only 3, but he's been in the lineup every time. Even if he pinched hit or he played, he already played in the last couple of the first couple of spring training games. So I think Buck Showalter is checking out is if Cano can consistently be in the batting order as the DH, even though he's batting second. and game is about to start in about 10 minutes. The SOI theme song is coming on right now. So, yes, I think he's going to give Cano every opportunity to win that DH spot in spring training. But I wouldn't be shocked if Buck Showalter to trust Dominic Smith more as the DH. Christian, how you doing? Yeah, but I don't care about top prospect. You know what? Jacob Degrom wasn't a top prospect. You know what I'm saying? Matt Harvey was. Where's Matt Harvey now? You know, where's Steven Matz? Top prospect. You know, DeGrom wasn't a top prospect, but Syndergaard was. Matz was. Wheeler was. Harvey was. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is now. And there's no guarantee that. So if McNeil hits 250 this year and the home runs that are not going to show up, and everybody went crazy about his power in 2019 when he was the same guy that was an advocate of the juice ball in 2019. Why do you think he didn't hit that many home runs again? Because the ball wasn't juiced anymore. So if McNeil bats less than 300, all right. If he bats 290, fine. I'll take that in a heartbeat. But if he's batting 250, 260, he's not hitting a lot of home runs. That means he's not driving in a lot of runs. So what is McNeil? McNeil is an average player, a below average player who is not a very good defensive second baseman. So he's basically pointless at the play. Not only he doesn't help the team, now you decrease his value in a trade as well. So you do both of those things that hurt the team. The reason why Conforto hasn't signed yet, because more people are looking at his one bad year with that draft pick compensation. And I guarantee you, if Conforto had no draft pick compensation attached, somebody would have signed him on a 1-year deal at the very least, or a 2-year deal with an opt-out. The reason why nobody's signing him on a 1-year deal is because of that draft pick. And nobody is going to sign him for a 1-year deal knowing that they could lose him and they lose that draft pick. And teams do not trust him enough. Remember, they're looking from the outside perspective. You have to look at it from a Mets perspective. Teams that look on the outside are going to look at last year's stats. They're not going to look at 3 years ago. They're looking at last year's stats. It says, we can't give this guy a 4-year, $80 million deal. The Mets know what Conforto is. You can't look at 5 out of his 6 years and say, oh, Conforto's going to be a terrible player. How does that make sense? But you're willing to throw away McNeil's last year. It makes no sense. You can't throw away McNeil's last year and not throw away Conforto's last year and say, oh, well, I like McNeil more. Why? Has no track record. The 1 year when McNeil had a really good year, and let's not count 2020. Can we throw that year out, please? Because Conforto had a great 2020, and I'm throwing that out. McNeil had a pretty decent 2020. In 2019, with the live ball, McNeil and Conforto had really great years. But McNeil showed, as soon as he changed his swing to more of an uppercut swing, guess what? Average went down 25, 30 points. His home runs went up based on the live ball. Why didn't he hit a lot of home runs the last 2 years? Because there's no live ball. So McNeil and his uppercut swing makes no sense as a hitter that should be a 300 hitter. So get rid of 2021 for both players if you're going to use that fact that, okay, let's throw out McNeil's 2021 year. Good, I'll give that to you. But you have to throw out Conforto's 2021 year and then look at their stats. Conforto had very good years throughout his career. Just because they're inconsistent and he's streaky, which every player is, he still runs up with 25 home runs, 75 to 80 RBIs. If you don't want that in your lineup, then I don't know what you want, especially when you don't have many options anymore. Oh, James, yeah, exactly. That's every team's got to say that. You know what I'm saying? So it is with that point. I agree with you. Yeah, again, Dom, he did have that torn labrum. If that's true, then that sucks. Maybe that was the big reason why. But again, if Dom was hurt, or you could just kill it off as Dom had a bad year. Everybody went crazy that, we can't get rid of Dom because he had a great 2020 season. Okay, that don't mean nothing. 60 games. Everybody went crazy because he hit a home run at the last game of the season in 2019 against the Braves. Everybody went that walk-off home run. Everybody went crazy for for Dominic Smith. Again, if Dominic's healthy, I think he's going to be very good for us. But he's not going to play a lot unless he's going to DH. No, I'm not saying they can't hit 20 to 25 home runs. I'm not saying that. But Khan is not going to hit 20 home runs. He's not. He played in Oakland, which took away probably a couple of home runs. But Citi Field is not a bandbox. So if he's going to increase his home runs by 2 or 3, based on where he plays now, he's going to hit 17 home runs. Okay, that's fine. I can see Smith, but depending on how much he plays, he could probably hit 25 home runs. Escobar, he played in Arizona. He played in Milwaukee. Not really hitter ballparks, but they're not that big either. So could I see him at 24 home runs? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Lindor, I think can hit 25 home runs. That shouldn't be an issue if he has a bounce back year. But it never hurts having another guy that hits 25 home runs in Michael Conforto. Yeah, Ken, exactly. Yeah, one good year, one bad year, it's 500. But if you look at 5 good years for Michael Conforto and one bad year, well, he's batting 750. So I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing when you look at it. But yeah, every year, 1 year, take away 2020, buddies. Everybody got to take away 2020. I don't care who had a great year, who had a bad year. 2020 was a joke. Them stats should be thrown out. They're a waste. Because Michael Conforto had a great year in 2020, but nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about McNeil. McNeil, 1 year, had a good year. When he had another full season, he had a bad year. So you can't tell me you trust McNeil more to Conforto when Conforto has more of a track record than Jeff McNeil. You can't do that, guys. So the game's going to start in a couple of minutes, guys. So I'm going to pull over to the stream, to the big box here. Let me just remove that banner. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, please hit on that like button so we can get more people in the stream. We'll be here with the next couple of hours so we can enjoy the game. Got a little bit another background for you guys to make it a little bit little pretty, so to speak. Got a little bit different graphics for spring training and then for the games when I go live. And I'm going to show you a little sneak peek on during the season when I go live. It's going to look like this. It's going to look very similar, but you're going to have the teams up on top of who's playing. So that's something that I'm going to do for the season as well. Alrighty. So I'm just going to move the screen. It should be starting very soon. Let me just pull it back a little bit. All right. There we go. That's better. All right. Can you guys see that very well? All right. I like that. Good. There you go. So that's where it's going to look for the again, guys. I can't stream the game actual live because copyright issues, and then I'll get kicked off the stream. Trust me, I tried. I tried to, work my way around it, but there's no way around it, unfortunately. Well, RIP, he probably was, but just think of it this way, guys. Somebody offers you that contract, you'll sell Cracker Jacks in the stands. I mean, yeah, that worries me. I could see Nimmo hitting 20, 22 home runs. But you know what? We lost Nimmo around 20 home runs. You're losing Conforto at the moment for 25 plus home runs. So now you're losing home runs altogether. No, 1 year doesn't equal a career. Absolutely. Bad or good. But nobody can deny that the fact that if Conforto had 1 bad year in his career and 5 really good years, but people are more infatuated on that 1 year instead of the 5 years, I just don't understand it. All right, guys. So Jacob Degrom is on the mound right now. He's ready to throw his first pitch in a few seconds. So let's get started, guys. So most of the time, I'm going to keep quiet for the most part, but I am going to, tell you what's going on if you're not watching. So I will get to your comments, a little while, but I know there's a lot of comments, but we're going to look at the first pitch. He's facing right now, McCormick right now. 97 on the first pitch, guys. Ball one. It's going to pop up just now. All right, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. All right, guys. So there we go. So obviously it's going to be a little bit delayed. There's already 2 pitches in, 1 ball, 1 strike. 98 miles an hour on another fastball. So he's sticking with his fastballs right now, guys. Yeah, Paul, I know that sucks. I wish I could, at least show the game, but I can't. So he just struck out McCormick on 4 fastballs. So strikeout looking. So 1 down, guys. So DeGrom looks sharp already. Yeah, but Ken, you can look at. I'm not disregarding the 1 year with Conforto, but everybody's throwing out McNeil's 1 bad year when he had 1 good year, 1 bad year. When Conforto had 5 good years and 1 bad year, so it works out both ways. You can't use the facts about McNeil having 1 good year, 1 bad year, but throw out the good years Conforto had just to look at that 1 bad year. It doesn't make sense to me. DL, I'll look into it. I spoke to Travis before. Maybe we will soon. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. So they're checking in Mets defense out right now. Dominic Smith in left, Nimmo in center, Connor in right, Escobar third, Lindor at short, and a beautiful slider by DeGrom. And woof, that's rough. And Goodrum actually just swung right over the top of it. DeGrom looks sharp between 7 pitches right now, guys. And another slider strikes him out swinging. 2 outs right away. 2 strikeouts for the GOAT. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Woo. His slider looks sharp. His fastball is 97, 98. Looks good, guys. Looks good. All right, so Jacob Degrom got 2 outs right now on 2 strikeouts, 1 looking and 1 swinging. And here's the big bat in actual lineup today. Kyle Tucker for the Astros. And he just threw a 98 miles per hour fastball right past Kyle Tucker. So he looks sharp already. Again, once again, guys, this is going to be a little bit of a delay, what you're looking at on the screen. But I'm trying to update you on the play-by-play as soon as it happens. So he's on his 10th pitch right now to Tucker. Another fastball on the outside corner, and he swings right through it. DeGrom looks sharp, and the hitters basically have no chance for Jacob Degrom right now. Just amazing, guys. I mean, they're showing the Mets dugout right now, and everybody's just shocked. All right, he throws another 98 right down the middle, and Kyle Tucker fouls it off, guys. But it looks very nice right now. Jacob Degrom smoothly throwing his slider and fastball. Hasn't thrown his changeup yet, and hasn't thrown the curveball yet. So 0-2 pitch coming to Tucker. And another 99 miles an hour fastball up and away, and Tucker fouls it off. So it's still an 0-2 count. Brad, absolutely. Let's go Mets. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to please hit on that like button. Going to be with you throughout the entire game of spring training with the Degrom's first start of the spring. Throws a slider, low and inside, ball one. And he throws another slider low and in and checks swing, and he did not swing. So it's a 2-2 count, and DeGrom's going to be throwing his 15th pitch of the game so far. So averaging, Travis, what's up, buddy? Yeah, DL just shout you out. We got to do a collab one day if that's cool with you, buddy. So DeGrom 2-2 pitch coming to Tucker. And another slider low and in, and he swings on top of it. Jacob Degrom in the first inning strikes out the side. 1-2-3. First batter looking. The next two swinging. So that was an easy first inning from Jacob Degrom, and he looks really good. Just throwing his fastballs and sliders, guys. So that's really nice to see with Jacob Degrom. You know what? If he's healthy, we know how good he can be. You know what? Met fans missed that last year because he was pitching great in the first half until he got hurt. So, John, exactly. Fire, fire, fire. That's exactly what happened, guys. Woof. Gotta love it. DeGrom looks good. Absolutely, guys. That's one thing I have to say. You know what? He just threw his two pitches, his fastball and his slider. And every slider is basically in the same spot, low and into the lefties. Just beautiful. Very beautiful. Gotta love it, guys. You just gotta love it. Joe, I'm not even worried about that. I think if the Mets let them play, Steve Cohen's gonna pay the fine. That's what's gonna happen. Don't worry, we'll be able to see him pitch. Don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that at all. So a little update on the Mets arbitration. JD Davis got 2.76 million. So MLB and the PA agreed to a couple more rules: expanded roster, return of the Ghost Runner, and nine inning games for doubleheaders, plus a rule for the whole CBA that right now probably just impacts Shohei Ohtani. So the Ghost Runner is back in extra innings. And Josh Hader just agreed to an arbitration deal with the Brewers for $11 million. So there's your little update. So Jake Odorizzi is on the mound for the Astros, and Brandon Nimmo is leading off for the New York Mets. So we're going to see what we are going to get from our lineup. Most of the guys in this lineup will be a part of the lineup going forward. You know, James, it'd be crazy, wouldn't it? So Nimmo takes a first pitch strike. Trash cans, I know. The cheaters, I know. Let's see what Nimmo can do. Nimmo flies the ball to left field. Looks like a can of corn for Lewis Brinson. One out, guys. You know, James, I don't mind the Ghost Runner, but I'd rather have it start in the 11th inning. I think you should play the first extra inning like regular baseball, and then after that, to speed up the game, to have the game end quicker, starting in the 11th inning. That's the way I think they should do it. I wasn't really mad about the Ghost Runner. I just don't like it the first inning of extra innings. All right, so Francisco Lindor is batting second today, so we'll see what he can do. Lindor has looked pretty good in spring so far. And he takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. So I really think with Lindor, I think he's going to have a really bounce back year. I don't think he's going to have a $341 million year, but I think he's going to have a bounce back year. I think he could still hit between 25 and 30 home runs. You're going to see his average, I think, creep up a little bit to close to 265, 270. And I think he's going to be, I think he's going to be better defensively. He had a couple of things last year that is really the biggest issue with, and he pops it up to second base, so 2 outs, guys. Yeah, Karen, I hope so. We need him to. So Diaz, Alonso, Nimmo, Williams, McNeil, and Davis all avoided arbitration and got their money that they wanted, basically. They both agreed. So there you go. So sorry for that spam, guys. That person comes on all the time on my stream, and I block him. And I actually block him on my YouTube, on my studio also, and he somehow finds a way. So sorry about that, guys. Yes, Alonso did get arbitration. He got $7.4 million. Oh yeah, James, me too, man. I wasn't very happy with that, but I think that was more Javi Baez than it was Lindor. Honestly, I think Baez was a bad influence on Lindor. Lindor was already having a lot of issues already, and McNeil hits one up the middle, and because of the shift, it's an easy out. So 1-2-3 in for Jacob Degrom. Mets did not get on base. Again, Jeff McNeil would have hit it. That would have been a base hit up the middle, but again, the shift took a hit away from him. Yeah, I really think Lindor was a little bit shell shocked coming to New York. I don't think he realized how everything was fast paced and how much fans are involved in the team and the backlash that he would get for saying stupid things or doing stupid things. And I think Javi Baez just added to that. Baez is a very confident, cocky guy and doesn't care what anybody says about him. And I think that kind of rubbed off the wrong way on Lindor with his best friend. And I just think it didn't help Lindor last year. It's a big reason why Baez is not on this team. Baez obviously is a good player, but I just think he didn't fit well in this team. Just clubhouse-wise, I think it was a huge issue. That's why Stroman's not back either. So after one guy's at 0-0, nobody got on base. Jacob Degrom looked excellent in the first inning, striking out the side. 2 swinging misses and 1 caught looking. So that is nice to see. Oh, okay, Paul. Yeah, because that person always comes back on or whatever it is. It's annoying. Even when I block it, it's kind of annoying. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna go crazy about the loss and wins. I just want these guys to ramp up, get their pitch counts up, come out healthy. We'll worry about the runs and how well they pitched during the season. All right, James, have a good night, buddy. We have agreed today. We did. Yeah, Joe, I'm gonna start that during the season. Spring training, I still want to get more people that hasn't seen my channel to subscribe and get an idea of what it looks like. Of what I do during the live games, so we can they get an idea. So people that just look at the video might not just subscribe. I mean, a lot of people subscribe during live stream, so I'm going to keep that during spring training. But as soon as the season comes along, it will be subscriber only mode for sure, just to protect people from from spam and stuff like that, because that is annoying. So all right, guys. So Jacob Degrom had an 0-2 pitch, and Lewis Brinson has hit a double down the line. So it was a high fastball that Lewis Brinson turned on. So that was a good pitch by Degrom, but Brinson got on top of that ball. He definitely got on top of that ball. It was high, but it was on the plate. And Escobar, that ball was roped. I mean, he could have caught that, but he had to really do a backhand play to make that. But yeah, Brad, it's odd, but he also has a draft pick attached to him. A lot of teams are not going to do it. They're not. So First hit of the ball game goes to Lewis Brinson against Jacob Degrom on a high fastball that he definitely got on top of and hit it down the line. So we'll see if Degrom can get out of the jams like he always does. 97 to Castro. Up and in, and he swung and missed. So we'll see what else Degrom can put in his arsenal. He only thrown fastballs and sliders so far. Let's see if he throws in a changeup here. Another fastball right down the middle, 97, swung and missed by Castro. So they can't catch up to his fastball, except for Brinson. He was quick enough to get on top of that, a high fastball. So 20 pitches in, 0-2 count. Guy on second, nobody out. Jason Castro at the plate on a 0-2 count. Fastball 98, just inside, just missed the inside corner. 1-2. John, haha, you're back. Perfect. So here comes a 1-2 pitch. Brinson on second base, nobody out. A nice slider low and in, but he fouled it off. Still 1-2. So we're in the second inning right now. First inning, Jacob Degrom struck out the side, 2 swinging, 1 swinging, 1 caught looking. And his first batter he faced the second, Lewis Brinson hit a double down the line on a fastball up in the strike zone. And right now it's a 1-2 count to Castro, and Degrom's coming to the set. And a slider low and in struck him out swinging. Once again, guys, that nasty slider at 92, 93 miles an hour is basically his put-away pitch when he got, especially the lefties. And there's a lot of lefties in the lineup, if you haven't noticed. And that's something, nobody can hit Jacob Degrom. But lefties have no shot with that slider. Every slider he threw so far has basically been in the same spot, low and in, to left-handers. So Joe Perez is up right now, and Jacob Degrom with 1 out. Lewis Brinson on second base. Threw a fastball outside, 1-0. Okay, John. All right. And Seth Lugo avoided arbitration, $2.925 million. Another fastball. It was a slider, or it looked like a changeup. I don't know what that was, actually. It looked like a slider, but that ball was right down the middle, and he took it. It was a strike, so 0-2 count. Oh, excuse me, 1-1 count. I'm sorry about that. And throws a fastball 97 miles an hour on the outside corner, 1-2 count to Joe Perez. Again, once again, guys, it's a little delayed with this. All right, there we go. Not bad, John, not bad. And he throws a fastball outside corner. It's a pop-up to the foul territory, and Alonso catches it. 2 outs. So Alonso catches it in foul territory by the tarp. Lewis Brinson still on second base. He hit that leadoff double against Degrom. Degrom's first hit of the ball game that he gave up. So it's 2 outs. Lewis Brinson still on second base. Degrom got 27 pitches in the top of the second. So looking like he could probably get out of this for 35 pitches, and we'll see if he comes out for the third. Oh yeah, I guarantee it is. You know what? I can guarantee if McCann has another bad year and Alvarez is ready, and they bring up Alvarez, McCann will be the backup. I know it's a $10 million backup, but you know what? You got to win. All right, so Jones is up right now, right-handed batter. Degrom threw a slider, and he swung terribly at that ball, so 0-1. Another slider just outside. They checked his swing, and he went, so 0-2 count. So nasty sliders right around the same spot. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Degrom throws another one just like it. So 0-2 count. Leadoff double is still on second base, guys. So Degrom, once again, in pressure situations with runners on, always seems to get out of it. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Jones. And he throws a slider right down the middle, and he misses it. Strike 3 called. So Degrom got out of that leadoff double with no runs. What else is new, guys? So a solid 2 innings for Jacob Degrom, giving up 1 hit to Lewis Brinson in that inning, going to the bottom of the second. Degrom looks sharp, guys. Ken, we can't have live games. It's copyright issues. Unfortunately, all I can do is show this. No, John, I don't want to rush Alvarez either. Honestly, I don't. But I do think, they're putting them in Double-A already to start the year. So you usually know with this Double-A, if they show any signs of improvement, they're going to go to Triple-A this year. And there's a pretty good shot that if Alvarez shows what he can show this year in Double-A and Triple-A, along with Baby, if James McCann doesn't have a good year, if Alvarez looks ready, bring him up. Don't waste time. James McCann should be a backup. That's it. Too bad with James McCann. Oh, well. Yes, I am watching the game on TV. I am. That's how I'm trying to give you the live play-by-play while showing you the graphic on the screen, because I can't show it to you live. But I can't actually show I have the game on my laptop right now. I'm watching it and I have it on my TV as well. The problem is, if I put it on my live stream, they will take it off. It happened last year when I tried to do it. It knocked me right off, unfortunately. Believe me, I love the show. It'd be a lot more interesting. Trust me. Yeah, there's a few guys that are still in the arbitration period at the moment that the Mets still have. I think they had 9 or 10, if I'm not mistaken. Brad, I try. Like I said, I would love for you guys to watch the game on the screen, but again, I've tried that last year, and trust me, as quickly as I can live stream, quickly they can take me off. So unfortunately, I can't do that. No problem, Brad. I'm trying to do the best play-by-play I can. I'm not Gary Cohen, I promise. I'm not at all. And I don't try to be. All right, so we got Pete Alonso up right now. Jake Odorizzi is still on the mound and going to the bottom of the second right now. So 1-1 count to Pete Alonso right now. Well, you see, that's the thing. For some reason, we're allowed to, if it pops up, you're just using a delay of the site. For some reason, it works. I don't know why, Paul. It makes no sense. It's basically free advertising. I get it. With all the advertising on that screen right now, I don't get it. But because it's a live showing of the game, they just don't do it. I just don't let you. I don't know. So Alonso swung at a very good slider. It's a 2-2 count to Alonso. So 2-2 count coming to Alonso. Pete Alonso hits a slider the other way, and it went foul. So he hit a nubber to first base, but it went foul. Yeah, Ken, absolutely. If Alvarez is that good, then bring his ass up. Don't waste time, in my opinion. Yeah, Degrom is done. Like I said, I'm not surprised he wasn't going to pitch more than 2 innings. He has a routine. Scherzer's just a weird guy, pitching 5 innings in his first start. No problem, Victor. Sorry, Ken. Yeah, I know it's unfortunate with the baseball and stuff right now with certain states, which it sucks, Ken. I get it. Believe me, I wish I can do more, but I can't. Unfortunately, anybody who streams a video of the live game, the stream will stay on. But the problem is, especially if you're monetized, you get kicked out. They will kick you out. They delete the video. It's very annoying. Believe me, I tried. I tried every which way to figure it out, but they just don't. So a slider, Alonso hits one bounce off the wall, and it looks like he's going for two, and he will make it. So a double for Pete Alonso on a hanging slider. He hit a rocket over Lewis Brinson's head. Again, Pete Alonso, that power bat. Oof. Actually, I'm sorry. It looked like a slider, but I don't know. It maybe looked like a slurve. I think it was a slider that just hung. And he hit it one bounce off the wall in left field and hustle out a double. So it's a leadoff double for Pete Alonso. And Pete Alonso looked very he didn't slide very well at all, but he got there. All right, so Robinson Cano is up. I'm very intrigued about Robinson Cano and what he's going to do. So he hits a slider, a curveball, and he pops up to center field. So one out. Let's see if Pete Alonso's going to try it. He tried it, but he stopped, and he's back to second base. So one out. So Cano basically had a hanging curveball, and he got under it and hit it to center field. Francisco Alvarez, the top prospect in the Mets system. Victor, thank you, buddy. So we got one down with a leadoff double from Pete Alonso, so he's still on second base. Robinson Cano just hit the first pitch curveball, hanging curveball. He just got under it and hit it to center field. So we're going to see Eduardo Escobar right now. He's batting left-handed. We do know that he's a switch hitter. So the first pitch coming to Escobar. Curveball in for a strike. Another hanger that Odorizzi threw, but when you're not expecting it, you're not expecting it. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yes. Well, people were talking about Alvarez. I told people, but yeah, I got you. I'm sorry about that. All right, so the second pitch to Escobar is in the dirt. Alonso tried to go to third on a wild pitch, and he was easily thrown out at third base. So that wasn't good base running by Pete Alonso, which is not nice to see with less than 2 outs. You're already in scoring position. This is the problem with the Mets. I know it's spring training, but we can't run out. We can't run out of innings with bad base running, especially for a team who had problems getting in runners in scoring position last year. You're in scoring position. A base hit will probably score you. And it was just bad base running by Pete Alonso. So 2 down with a 1-1 count to Escobar. Here comes the pitch. And a fastball high, 2-1. Yeah, he definitely not built for speed. So here comes a 2-1 pitch to Escobar. Another fastball high, 3-1. So yeah, this Mets team has to pay attention on the base paths. You're in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Unless the ball is in the backstop and you can easily get the advance the base, you have to do it. So a fastball right down the middle, and Escobar fouls it off. So they're showing a graphic. He signed for 2 years, $20 million, 786 OPS with 28 home runs, 90 RBIs in 146 games last year with the D-backs and the Brewers. He was a 2021 NL All-Star, 118 RBIs in 2019. Again, that was with the Juice Ball in 2019. Escobar takes a walk inside ball 4, takes his base. So it's a 2-out walk for Escobar. And now we have Mark Canha. Last season, 141 games, 231 average, 17 home runs, and 61 RBIs. So he's not an average guy, that's for sure. Yeah, Alonso is not a very good base runner. He's got to be careful in situations like that. if he was still on second base, you would have first and second with 1 out with Connor at the plate. Can't run ourselves out of innings like that. It killed us last year. All right, let's see what Connor can do. The first pitch to Connor. Takes a curveball low for ball one. Once again, guys, going back to what the Mets' problem were last year, it was problems hitting with runners on base and in scoring position. And not only that, there was a lot of bad base running last year that killed us in a lot of games, that took us out of innings when we had guys on base. Can't have that same mistakes. So fastball for a strike, 1-1 to Connor. Right now we would have first and second with 1 out. So he signed for 2 years, $26.5 million. That is Connor. 17 home runs, 61 RBIs, 358 on base percentage in 141 games. And he had a 377 OPS and 20 on base percentage in 2019. So here comes the pitch to Connor, 1-1 count. And he fouls a fastball that was right down the middle, right back. So he was on that pitch, just got under it. So it's a 1-2 count to Connor right now. 2 outs. Dominic Smith on deck. So you see what Buck Showalter is trying to do. He's trying to split up the left-handers, going lefty-righty in this lineup, which I like, by the way. Connor takes a slider in the dirt, 2-2. Once again, leadoff double for Alonso, but with bad base running, tried to advance to third on a wild pitch, and he was caught at third base very easily, which made it 2 outs. Right now, Escobar took a walk, so he's on first base with Connor in a 2-2 count. So it looks like it's going to be Odorizzi's last inning, and Peter Solomon of the Astros is warming up right now. So we got a 3-2 count to Connor. Escobar is going to be running on the pitch, so the ball's in the gap. There's a pretty good chance that Escobar is going to score. So here comes the 3-2. Escobar is running, and the ball was way up and in, but Connor went around and swung, and the inning is over. He struck out. So the Mets ran themselves out of an inning, and Connor didn't have a very good at-bat. So we're going to the top of the third. Yep, I see your picture, buddy, stranger. So right now we're going to the top of the third, guys. No score. Each team has 1 hit. Pete Alonso hit a sharp double to left field, but with his bad base running, showed up once again, and clearly shouldn't have went on a wild pitch. But once again, guys, Pete Alonso has to learn to just stick around on the base path. You're in scoring position. There's no need to do it. On a base hit, you're probably going to score most likely. Can't run yourself out of the inning with less than 2 outs. So it looks like Jacob Degrom is not going to pitch the third inning. And we're going to see who is going to pitch for the Mets in the top of the third with no score at the moment. So a little recap of Jacob Degrom. He had, let me just look at his stats really quick. Let's see. What did he do? I believe he had 4 strikeouts, 1 hit, no runs. So that was pretty good for Jacob Degrom. Yep, I'm not surprised. Like I said, first start, you usually go 2 innings. I was not shocked by that. He pitched, 34 pitches? Scherzer was just an anomaly yesterday. Crazy. Can't have him going, he threw 75 pitches in 5 innings. You're not going to see Jacob Degrom doing that. Yeah, exactly, Ken. Good pitching, no runs. Nothing new with the Mets. So Adam Ottavino is coming to the third inning. So the guy with the wicked slider and the frisbee slider is on at the plate. Oh, sorry, on the mound right now, pitching the third. So 2 innings for Jacob Degrom. So we got Degrom on the at the plate right now. We do a first pitch strike. A nice slider in there for a strike. So 0-2. I agree, Joe. This team needs another bat. So 92 miles an hour fastball, a little bit high, 1-2 count to Alex Degotti. So obviously Ottavino was a lone major league pickup for the bullpen. I'm not very happy with it, but what can you do? So Alonso was trying to get to the ball in foul territory, and the pitcher that was warming up by the bullpen that's in the right field corner, they called the batter out because of interference. Alonso could have got to the ball, but the pitcher got in the way. So the umpire called him out. Alonso basically fell on his butt. Luckily, he's okay because that wasn't very pretty. So it is 1 out for for Adam Ottavino. The pitcher of the Astros that was warming up got in the way of Alonso from catching the ball, and the umpire called him out. So 1 down. Oh yeah, the CPU pick is of the Astros, the Red Sox though. Yeah, yeah, I'm interested to see Ottavino, but again, he's not great, guys. That's one thing we got to know for sure. He's not that great. I know I'm freezing back and forth, guys, but I got a lot of things running at the moment, so don't mind me. So it's a pop up to center field. It's looking like 2 down. So quick 2 outs for Adam Ottavino, making quick work of the two Astro hitters. Nice to see. Again, I'm not concerned about Ottavino pitching to right-handers, but left-handers he's terrible with. That's what I worry about. Hey, Richard, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, that guy's going to be sent back to the minors. So the leadoff fielder is up again. McCormick is up again. So it's a 78 miles an hour slider for a strike. So Ottavino got a quick 2 outs, 2 pop-ups. One was an interference by an Astros player near the bullpen on the right field line, and a pop-up to center field nipple. That's how you got the 2 outs. So a nice fastball right down the middle, a check swing, 0-2. So DeGrom's line for tonight: 2 innings, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, no walk, 31 pitches. Yesterday, 5 innings for Scherzer, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, no walk, 72 pitches. So there's the difference right there. The guys have their own routine. Another fast, 94 miles an hour fastball, little high, and that went for a ball. So 1-2 count. They're trying to get his pitch count out. Don't worry about it too much. First start of the spring. Not to worry about. He's going to go 3 or 4 innings next start. Another fastball high, 2-2. You know, I didn't know Ottavino can get up that fastball to 93, 94 miles an hour. I'm a little shocked by that. You know, he's got a frisbee slider that he can throw 77, 78. So that's really interesting. He can throw a little harder slider as well, which he did. Here comes the 2-2 to McCormick. A frisbee slider, strike 3, swinging. It was a slider inside, and he swung. So a nice 1-2-3 inning for Adam Ottavino. So that's the 1 inning he's going to pitch. You're probably going to see another reliever coming in. So how's everybody doing? All right, just looking at some Twitter stuff. All right. All right. Just checking some Twitter stuff, guys. Don't mind me. Yeah, Joe, I'm waiting for that too. Waiting for it. Just waiting for it. Yeah, I think Gary Cohen's one of the best. He is the best. That's for sure. So once again, guys, if you this is the first time you're tuning into the stream during a live game, this is the setup it's going to be during the season as well. I wanted to make that clear. I will do play-by-play commentating the game. Obviously not as good as Gary Cohen not great at all. But it's for the people that are not really watching the stream because they're working or they're doing stuff. They can listen to it. They can listen to what's going on during the game as well. But this is the setup. What will go during the other spring training games I go live for and during the season as well. So I just wanted to. The reason why I didn't make it a subscriber mode yet is because I want to get more people that actually come into the stream or the channel for the first time. Give them an idea of what the channel will look like when we go live during games, and just to give them the opportunity to see what it looks like, so they have the opportunity to subscribe as well. So we're going to the bottom of the third, and Peter Solomon is in for the Astros, and Dominic Smith is up. So we'll see what Dom can do. Dom has a pretty good spring so far. And Steve Gelb is talking to Mike Piazza right now. And the first pitch to Dom, he swings, he hits a long fly ball to center, and the center fielder catches it just shy of the 1-track, 1 out. So Dom got a pretty good shot at that, but hit it just 10 feet less. Yeah, Brad, I know it's not easy. Sorry, guys, if I'm freezing. Once again, I have a lot of stuff on at the moment. But yes, play-by-play is not easy if you don't do it every day. So Dom swung at the first pitch, and he hit it to deep center, but just shy of the 1-track, 1 out for the Mets. And Tomas Nido, who was replacing McCann, and he hits the first pitch fastball right to the second baseman, and it went right under his glove. So it's going to be an error on the second baseman. So once again, guys, that's why you put the ball in play. You put the ball in play because anything can happen. This ball was a routine grounder. It was hit hard, but a routine grounder, a professional player should have had that, and it went right under his glove. So Nido was on with a 1-out error to get on base. So once again, guys, I was talking about this before the game. With a team that doesn't have a lot of power in the lineup, they got to put the ball in play. Things happen. Errors happen. And it just happened there. So Nimmo is up at the plate now. So Nimmo can do. He takes a curveball for, it looked like a strike, but it's not. Guess it was outside. Ball 1. So 1 out with Nido on first. Fastball in the dirt, ball 2. Brian, I don't know what you're talking about. Degrom is choked. He had a really good 2 innings. All right, so we got a 2-0 count to Nimmo. Guy on first for 1 out. Bottom third. Nimmo takes a fastball up and away, 3-0. So once again, Nimmo working the count. Brett, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we got a 3-0 count to Nimmo. Again, nothing new with Nimmo taking pitches. working the count, and he takes ball 4 up and away, up and in, excuse me. So the Mets got first and second with 1 out. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, please hit on that like button. Yeah, Cyril, you can probably listen to it on the MLB app. I think it's there. Yeah, Brett, I was looking at the Yankee game today. Yeah, he didn't look good. Again, I know there's some Yankee fans in the stream, and like I said, I don't trust your rotation, guys. Like, Jordan Montgomery, when he's on, can pitch 5 innings, 5 really good innings, but he has a lot of games like that too. And you're going to see that from a lot of your rotation, and that's worrisome. You guys need either Manaea or the Montas, but I don't think the Yankees are going to give up those prospects, man. So it's a 2-0 count to Lindor. So it's first and second, 1 out, 2-0 count to Lindor. Let's see if Lindor can drive this ball and bring in some runs. And he takes a fastball for a strike, 2-1. Yeah, the Odyssey app as well, exactly. So I'm pretty sure I can actually play the radio stream during a game. I'm not sure, but what I usually do, all right, Lindor hits a base hit to center field, and Nito is stopped at third, bases loaded, 1 out. Okay, so Lindor hits a sharp line drive to center field. It looked like they were going to send Nito, but they held him up between third and home and brought him back. So it's bases loaded, guy will 1 out. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's basically going to be what, your number 3? I mean, can you consider Nestor Cortez as your number 3 or Montgomery? That's the problem. All right, so there's the Mets Castro arbitration avoided, $2.62 million, and the last guy on the list for arbitration eligible is Chris Bassett. So we're waiting for that arbitration deal to get done. Hopefully. Yeah, Nito is slow, but you know what? You don't want to make the second out at home. You got the big part of your lineup up right now. You got Jeff McNeil up, and you got Alonso. So you got 2 chances. Let's see if Jeff McNeil can put the bat on the ball and not try to swing for the fences. I want to see Jeff McNeil's at bat. I want to see if he has more of a level swing and not that terrible uppercut swing he had the last couple of years. So it's he took a ball, so it's 1-0 right now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Jeff McNeil takes it looked like a changeup for ball 2, low. I want to see a little bit more discipline with McNeil too at the plate. So a 2-0 count to McNeil. Bases loaded, 1 out, guys. McNeil hits a ground ball right to first base, and they're going to turn 2. Yep. Double play, guys. Once again, Jeff McNeil, he hit it on the ground. He hit it hard, but right to the first baseman down the line for it looked like a 3-6-3 double play. So there you go, guys. Once again, the Mets in scoring position is non-existent. Oof, that's rough. So the Mets bases loaded, 1 out, and double play ends the inning. Again, I do like Jeff McNeil hitting the ball on the ground, though. He hit the ball hard, but the first baseman was playing the line, and it was a nice turn by the Astros. A 3-6-3 double play. So going to the top of the 4th. Oh, McNeil. All right, guys. So we're going to the top of the fourth once again. In the second inning, the Mets, Pete Alonso ran them out of an inning trying to advance on a wild pitch and got caught at third. And the Mets had bases loaded, 1 out, and Jeff McNeil hits into a 3-6-3 double play that ended the inning. So the Mets basically left three men in scoring position and 4 left on already in 3 innings. So that was the biggest bugaboo for the Mets last year, and it continues this spring so far. Damn it. But you know what? You live and you learn, guys. Like I said, McNeil, on the swing that he had, it was a level swing. I like to see that. Take a little bit of positive from that. Again, it was hit down the line. The first baseman made a spinning throw to second. So, excuse me, it was a 3-6-1 double play. Solomon got the first base. So that was a really nice turn by the Astros. All right, so Trevor Williams is on the mound right now for the New York Mets. He is the third pitcher of the night. Degrom, solid 2 innings. Ottavino, solid first 1 inning. And now Trevor Williams. We know Trevor Williams, the Mets picked him up last year. Made a couple of starts last year for the Mets. Looked decent, not great. He's a guy that I can see probably another depth piece in the minors. But we will see. He doesn't throw very hard. Throws about 90, 92. Again, Giovanni, this is what I was talking about with the Mets. They can't get these runners in. It just kills me. It really does. So it's a 1-1 count to Nico Goodrum. And 91 miles an hour fastball up. 2-1. So a sharp line drive foul, 2-2 count. So it was a fastball inside, and he turned on it, foul. Yep, Trevor Williams also declared waivers as well. Arbitration. So yes. So 2-2 count to Goodrum. Slider fouled it off. 2-2 still. Victor, I don't know. You know what? They just got to be better in scoring situations. That's basically it. And that was the problem last year. And right now it doesn't look good. So it was a fastball low swing, fouled it off. 2-2 still. Yeah, that was the biggest problem with the Mets last year, guys. We all know that. They couldn't score runs. Even though they lost a lot of pitching last year, no Syndergaard. DeGrom is down the second half. Carrasco came back late in the year. It was mostly their offense. They were in a lot of the games last year. They lost a lot of 1-run games last year. They could not score runs. 15, 16 men left on base. You ain't going to win that way. I don't know. Cashman better hurry up, though, because that rotation where you just typed not too long ago is just not good. When Tyone is your number 3 starter and Montgomery is your number 4, that's worrisome. So still 2-2 count to Goodrum. All right, throws a slider, and he fouled it off. Still 2-2. Yep. Everybody was crazy about the pitching last year. The pitching still wasn't bad, considering. But the offense was just not good. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Goodrum. And he hits one right, a liner to Lindor up the middle. He was playing the shift. 1 down. Yeah, that would be a really good deal for the Yankees. But you know what? That would help him. That would help the lineup for sure. And he's very good defensively. So That would be a nice pickup for the Yankees. Again, what do you have to give up? That's the issue. I don't know if Cashman's willing to do that. It's crazy. All right, so Trevor Williams already thrown 9 pitches to that one batter, Goodrum, and now we got Kyle Tucker. 1 out, top of the 4th. Yep, I remember when the Astros were in the NL Central. 6 teams, yep. So 2-0 to Tucker. Oh, yeah, Grant, you did. That's right, you live in Houston. All right, so Trevor Williams throws a fastball right down the middle, and Tucker fouls it back. I don't think we're worried about starters anymore. Bullpen, yes, but we'll see. There's still people out there we can get. You know, a couple trade options as well for the Mets. So 2-1 to cut Tucker. Fastball just inside 3-1. You know, the Mariners got better this year with the moves they made, and they won 90 games last year. You can easily see them win 92, 93 games. Maybe more. So fastball, 3-1 count. Swing, fouled back, 3-2 count. There's 1 out in the top of the 4th. Kyle Tucker's at the plate on a 3-2 count. Lewis Brinson is on deck. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Tucker. Fastball right to Alonso, and he takes it himself. 2 outs. So Trevor Williams looks pretty good. Oh, Grant, I can understand. That must be a little tough. You got those Cowboys and the Texans. All right, so we got 2 down on the top of the 4th. Lewis Brinson at the plate. Trevor Williams on the mound for our New York Mets. Yeah, that was a silly tweet by Feinstein. He said that Trey Turner of the Nationals avoided arbitration, but oops, it's the Dodgers, not the Nationals. So a nice little breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. So fastball inside 2-1 to Lewis Brinson. So it looked like a slider, low, swung, fouled off by Brinson. 2-2 count. We're in the top of the 4th, guys. No score. Well, I don't really care about hitting coaches. It's up to the players to adjust. And Williams throws a fastball on the outside corner, and Brinson fouls it back. No, I don't think they're doing that, Lane. They're just doing the black jerseys on Friday. Yeah, basically, Joe. And a slider checks his swing. Ball 3, 3-2. Yeah, they're gonna get through with Bassett. You know, you're not gonna trade for a guy who had problems with arbitration. So another slider, and Brinson fouls it off. Yu Yang, random question: are you sad about the ghost run? It's pretty divisive amongst fans. Yeah, you know what? I like it if it starts in the 10th inning. I don't like it the 11th inning. I don't like starting it right away in the 10th inning. I don't like that at all. Playing 9 innings and you got to do the ghost. I don't like that at all. All right, here comes another 3-2 pitch to Tucker. To Brinson. And he fouls back a fastball. Yeah, John, don't worry about that. They're trying to save DeGrom. First start of the spring, I'm not worried about that. Next game he'll pitch in a couple of days. He'll probably pitch 4 innings, getting his pitch count up to like 60, 65. Another 3-2 to Brinson, and he fouls off another fastball right back. Leonardo, awesome. Puerto Plata. All right. Yeah, I'm a fan of the black uniforms. And a ground ball to third base. Escobar bobbles it, throws it, and he is out at first. So Escobar bobbled it a little bit, but he had a strong enough arm to get Lewis Brinson out at first. So the side is retired. Going to the bottom of the 4th. Mets coming up. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to please hit on that like button. So if you're listening to Jacob Degrom right now, I'm going to play it for you. His little press conference.
I felt like I could throw the ball on stage on my landing foot and, just stand there. And that was kind of the main goal.
In trying to ramp up during this shortened camp, how do you balance wanting to be ready versus not doing too much? And, for example, today, did you want to go another inning?
I think it was playing it smart, talking to Hef about it, not knowing necessarily when we were going to show up. So didn't want to go out there and push it too much early on. And that's kind of going back to trying to be smooth, not trying to go as hard as I can and work down the slope. So I'm happy with how that went today.
Is not throwing as hard as you can a today thing or a new approach generally?
I'm sure there'll be times when I throw as hard as I can. It's like I said before, when I am really in sync and smooth, it feels like it comes out better than when I actually try to throw really hard.
So it's just like a 60-second clip of the DeGrom presser after he pitched today. Just talked about, not throwing as hard as he usually would, which I think is a good sign because, he can still get guys out, no problem, 97, 98. He don't need to throw 100 every pitch. I don't think I'm going to be the next Harry Rose or Gary Cohen. I'm not that good. I just try to give the people what's going on if they can't watch the stream. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th, guys. We saw today DeGrom pitched 2 very, very solid, excellent innings from him. 1 inning from Adam Ottavino, shutdown inning. And Trevor Williams pitching 1-2-3 inning. So we're going to the bottom of the 4th. Pete Alonso at the plate. So Alonso has the 2-0 count right now. First at bat for Alonso. He hit a double on a 1 bounce off the wall in left field. So let's see what he can do with a 2-0 count. Alonso swings and misses at a fastball, 2-1. So Alonso, again, very well at the plate. Base running, not so much. All right, so here comes a 2-1 pitch to Pete Alonso. Alonso hits a slider foul down the third baseline, 2-2. Yeah, I think we need another bullpen arm as well, Lane. All right, here comes the 2-2 to Alonso. Alonso, bad splitter in the dirt. He swings and misses, and he gets thrown, and they throw it to first. 1 out. So not a good at bat for Pete Alonso. They could. You could. That's okay. If they don't want to, they don't have to. All right, so we got Robinson Cano up, swinging at the first pitch again. He did that in his first at bat as well. He fouled it off. 0-1. Thank you, Karen. All right, here comes the 0-1 to Cano. Cano hits a fly ball, looking like the center field is going to catch it. 2 down. So 2 pop-ups for Robinson Cano. Ron, what's up, buddy? How you doing? So we got 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. Eduardo Escobar coming to the plate. Yeah, Cano, he was underneath the ball his first 2 at bats. So it's a 2-0 count to Escobar with 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. Pete Alonso struck out looking bad at strike 3, swinging. And Cano pops up to center field. The second time he popped up to center field in the game. Escobar takes a strike down the middle, 2-1. Tanya, 100% agree. They already left 4 men left on base in 3.5 innings. And Escobar hits a blooper. It looked like it's going to drop for a base hit. So a 2-out base hit for Escobar. Escobar had a walk in his first at-bat and just got a bloop single with 2 outs. So now Mark Canha is coming to the plate. See if Mark Canha can keep this inning alive and bring it down to Dominic Smith. And he takes a fastball outside. Yeah, Joe. And that base coach held up Nito when Lindor hit the base hit to make your bases loaded. So we had a third base coach last year that just sent everybody. Now we have a third base coach that's holding everybody up. All right, so it's a 1-0 pitch to Canha. Canha hits a ground ball to the third base, force out the second, 3 outs. Going to the top of the 5th, no score. We'll be right back after these messages. Yeah. All right, guys, so there's no score going to the top of the 5th. Game's moving rather quickly, which is not always a bad thing. I guess I'm gonna. Greg, 100% agree. We were just talking about that. The Mets already left 4 men on base in the first 4 innings, 3 in scoring position. So once again, the same issue again and again. This team needs to score runs, and again with this big bat, it's crazy. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, this team biggest problem was the offense, and I don't know. I mean, I know it's only spring, but it looks like shades of last year. Wednesday night game, I'm not 100% sure, Lane. Yeah, I know. These, you know, I should be getting paid for these ads. So Trevor Williams coming out for a second inning. He had a decent first 4th inning. So let's see what he can do. We got Castro up. So he took a ball for the first pitch and he swung at the second pitch, so 1-1. All right, fastball right down the middle, strike 2, 1-2 count to Castro. Yes, the Mets are off tomorrow. They play tomorrow on SNY. Houston, Texas, Dave. How you doing, buddy? So Trevor Williams, second inning on the mound, throws a fastball inside 2-2. Houston, Texas, 0-0 in the top of the 5th. And a fastball inside 3-2. So let's see if Trevor Williams can win this battle. It's a broken bat, grounder, foul. Still a 3-2 count. Oh, I hope the Mets look good this year. Yeah, the bet they go further than the ball. So it's still a 3-2 count to Castro. And the pitch from Williams, ground ball to Lindor. 1 down. So Lindor is basically playing behind second base. So there goes the shift. In effect, the ball was hit slow enough where either McNeil or Lindor could have got it. But Lindor is playing behind second base, so it was an easy play, 1 down. I'll take that. Houston, Texas, I will definitely take that, Dave. 100%. So we're in the top of the 5th, guys. 1 out, no score. Mets had multiple opportunities with runners in scoring position in the first 4 innings and did not execute any runs, which is very familiar like last year. So a slider from Williams, 1-1 count. All right, swing and a miss, 1-2. That's a nice landing spot for Conforto, actually. You know, with that loaded lineup, he's not going to be the main focus. That's perfect for the Blue Jays, honestly. I wouldn't mind him going to the Blue Jays, and a ball hit down the right field line, just foul. Still a 1-2 count. Just missed the line for Perez. So still a 1-2 count. Yeah, I think that would be a very good spot for Michael Conforto, actually. You know, Toronto's not afraid to spend the money. And Conforto would be good for you guys. That would be a perfect spot for Conforto. But then again, I'm not sure if Conforto's vaccinated, so that might be an issue in Toronto. You know, free agent wise, Greg, nobody that is worth the money for a big bat or at least a decent bat. The only way they can get a bat is through trade. You know, Jose Ramirez, Ketel Marte. You know, there's not a lot out there anymore at the moment, which sucks. Lane, I think the Mets should just sign Conforto. And Perez is fighting these pitches off from Trevor Williams, still a 3-2 count with 1 out in the 5th. You know, that's the biggest problem. You know, you already see it with the Mets right now. You know, there's just not a lot of guys out there that can drive in these big runs, and that big bat is needed. You know, you can't always rely on Conforto. I mean, on Alonso. And Williams threw ball 4. So 1 out walk to Perez. Angie, and the Mets and Yankees are going to trade. I don't care for who it is. Yeah, so the Baslett's the only guy left that has the arbitration deal with the Mets. We can see if that gets worked out in the next day or two. Do Casey just arbitration as well, I believe? Let's see. Yes, Joey Lucchesi avoided arbitration with a $1.15 million with them in the Mets. Yeah, you know, Greg, but they don't score for anybody. That's the problem. Even last year, you know, I think we lost in the second half. We lost about 8 or 9 one-run games, and it wasn't with like a game where we only had like 4 men in scoring position. No, it was 15, 16 left on base every game, and it was a killer. So it's a 1-0 count to Jones. So 1-0 pitcher for a strike, 1-1. Yeah, well, I'm very interested to see it. You know what? As long as I don't see my pitchers hit and run the bases and they can just worry about pitching and keep them healthy, I'll be happy. I'm still a National League guy. I rather no DH, but I understand it now with playing interleague every day. And a check swing, 1 and 2. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Lane. So we're in the top of the 5th. Astros have 1 out, 1 on, and a 1-2 pitch that will be coming to Jones from Williams right now. And it looks like a fastball, low, 2-2. Yeah, I don't know why they signed with the, but you know what? He's making what, $35 million, and he can opt out. He's okay. He's doing okay. Yeah, I don't know how serious that huge deal was, Joe. I'm not really sure about that. Jacob Degrom is the starting pitcher, so it's a small, broken bat, grounded on Alonso. He was gonna turn 2, but he thought otherwise and just stepped on first. So 2 down. So it was a smart play by Pete Alonso. Not try to force the double play. It was going to be a tough double play anyway. So Pete Alonso got to the ball looking like he was going to do it. He had time. He could have done it. But he decided just to take the out at first. So 2 down with a man on second. So Alonso was a little hesitant to try to turn the double play, which he had time. I mean, Lindor would have been there. All right, so we got 2 outs for DeGroit. And he swings at the first pitch, fouls it back, 0-1. Was that out there for real? Because, I mean, I guess he wants to win, right? Well, he did free up more money for you, that's for sure. So the 0-1 to DeGroy is fouled off, 0-2. Once again, guys, if you're just tuning in, don't forget to please hit on that like button, guys. We're going to be here until the end of the spring training game again for the Mets and the Astros. Grant, I agree. He's going to opt out after the 1 year and go back out. That's exactly what he's going to do. So here comes the 0-2 point pitch from Williams. Fastball, foul back, still 0-2. I mean, the Twins got a little bit better. I mean, the AL Central is not stacked. I mean, besides the White Sox, there ain't really nobody that's good in that division. The Tigers might be good somewhat, but you know what? The Twins, all they got to do is be a wild card team. You know, there's an extra wild card team now, so you know that's what the Twins are looking at. You don't have to be in the best team in your division. You just got to make the playoffs. That's it. All right, so 1-2 count to Degotti. Top of the fifth, man on second, no score. And Williams to the set, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, inning over. Nice solid 2 innings for Trevor Williams. Going to the bottom of the fifth, no score. 4 hits for the Mets, 1 hit for the Astros. Nah, the Royals ain't going to be that good. The worst team in the AL Central? Yeah, probably the Royals. I would think so. You know, the Tigers are going to be better, but how good are they going to be? You know, if the Twins, you know, the Twins are going to beat up on the bad teams in the Central. So, you know, the Indians, the Royals. You know what? I think the Royals will be better than the Indians, honestly. You know, the White Sox and the Rangers. I mean, sorry, the White Sox and the Twins are going to beat up on the Royals and the Guardians. Sorry, Indians, Guardians. You know, Detroit's the question mark. You know, they can be good, but how good? And I think that's what the Twins are thinking. You know, we don't have to be better than the White Sox. We just have to be better than the small majority of teams that are going to be in the wildcard team. They're going to be 3. You know, there's going to be 3 wildcard teams this year. So, oh, let me see, 3, right? Yeah, 3. So it kind of makes sense. Yeah, Joe. Excuse me. I agree. You know, but you know what? They played the Mets perfectly. They ran the bases well. Darno was terrible behind the plate throwing out runners. And what did the Royals do? The Mets didn't have a great defense or good defense at all. They put the ball in play and made the Mets make the mistakes, and that's how they won. Greg, do I think Carrasco and Walker in the starting rotation? Yes. If they're healthy, to start the season, going into the end of spring training, I think yes. I think you have David Peterson and McGill as your backup guys in the minors, along with Yamamoto and Trevor Williams that we just saw. I do think giving Carrasco and Walker, if they're healthy, the chance to stick in this rotation, fine. Like I said, Carrasco is a good pitcher when he's healthy. Walker, you know, everybody forgets he didn't pitch for 2 years. So there's no reason to think he can't pitch just as well as he did in the first half this year. You know, he hasn't pitched over 100 innings ever. And he was close to it this year. Or I think he was a little over it. So Taijuan Walker, you know, he's got the stuff. And he's going to be on number 5. So it's going to be great. Yeah, the Yankees did get pounded today. Montgomery looked terrible. But, you know, the rotation is not good for the Yankees. Yeah, you know, they got a decent line. You know, they got a decent team. But, you know, we'll see. You know, the prospects have to pan out. That's always the issue. You know, people are you know, giving the Red Sox no respect, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, 2-0 Rangers, baby. That's what I'm talking about. They're playing the Devils, right? Adam Fox with the second goal. All right. Best defenseman in the league. All right, so it's a 1-2 count to Dominic Smith leading off the bottom of the fifth. No score in the game so far. So see if Dom can have a bounce back year. The Mets desperately need a year from him, a good year from him. And he hits a ball. It looks like it's gonna drop for a base hit. All right, lead off base hit for Dom. Rangers are good. Yeah, Joe. I'm excited with those two moves, the three moves they made. Bolster up the defense a little bit. Got a couple of wingers. You know, I think Kott's going to be very surprising for the Rangers. I know it was like the second biggest move, but Kott's going to be good. All right, so Dom Smith hit a leadoff double, little leadoff single. Right now, the pinch hitter, they're switching up the lineup a little bit. Who's hitting? Mayer is hitting for the Mets. Minor league guy. So a lot of the starters are coming out, it looks like. Rick Myers batting for the Mets. And he hits a foul ball. 1-1 count. Yeah, Wood Jr. is going to be a stud, I think. But you know what, Christian? They have to pan out. You know, you just never know with these guys anymore. I don't think they're going to do it right away. I think they're going to see how he plays first, Joe. All right, so it's a 1-1 count to Meyer. Rick Meyer. Meyer is a minor leaguer in the Mets system. So the starters are starting to come out a little bit. Meyer hits a line drive base hit to left field. All right, nice at bat by Meyer. Meyer, excuse me, with his 70s porn mustache. Very nice swing. Very nice swing. So Mets got the first two on with nobody out. Let's see who's coming up now. Brandon Nimmo at the plate. So Brandon Nimmo's getting another at bat. Nice to see. Rashman is a stud, that's for sure, for the Royals. So the Mets got two on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth, Brandon Nimmo's up at the plate with a lefty on the mound. Nimmo takes a ball low, 1-0. Brandon Nimmo hits a fly ball to center field. Let's see if it gets Dominic Smith to third. And he does tag up and go to third. So, and Meyer gets the second base as well. Good base running by both guys. Nice base running. Fly ball to center field, pretty deep. But Mayer and Smith advance. That's good base running right there. See, that's what the Mets got to do. Nobody out. It's still a productive out. You know, that's a productive out. That's why putting the ball in play means something. striking out just kills a rally. You know, now you got 2 men in scoring position with 1 out, with the top of the lineup up. Very heads up base run by Mayer and Smith. We still haven't heard nothing about Bassett in arbitration yet. So right now we got Francisco Lindor batting right-handed now with 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. See if Lindor can drive him in. First pitch swinging at a slider, and he swung over it, strike 1. Yeah, like I said, a sac fly scores a run. You know, we're not looking for a 3-run bomb here. All right. Wow, pitch, ball in the dirt, but nobody advances. 1-1. So it was a very good block by the catcher. Kept that mostly in front of him. So it's a 1-1 count to Lindor. Got 2 men in scoring position with 1 out. Lindor takes looks like either a slider or a curveball low, 2-1. So last season, 125 games, 230 average, OPS of 734. Rest of career, 285 average, 833. So he had a bad year. We all know that. So 2-1 count to Lindor. And he hits a chopper, which is going to score a run. He misses it. And it's going to be an error on the third baseman. Lindor, we get it. All right, so we score a run. Again, putting the ball in play. Look what happened. An error occurs. See? It was a chopper to the third baseman. And the third baseman missed it. Tried to make the play at home. Didn't even catch it. Excuse me, it was a shortstop. So he tried to make the play, misjudged it, went off his glove. This is what happens when you put the ball in play. Things happen. We were just talking about that. So 1-0 Mets on the error by the Astros shortstop. And Jeff McNeil is up at the plate, first and third, 1 out. So let's see if we can score a few more runs here. Again, you don't need a 3-run homer. Put the ball in play. Jeff McNeil swings at the first pitch, a line drive right at the right fielder, but it's going to score the second run of the ball game. A sac fly for Jeff McNeil. See, that's all you got to do, guys. Put the ball in play, sac fly. Fundamentals of baseball, guys. 2 runs right there. Fundamental baseball. Scored 2 runs without even getting a hit. That's all you got to do. The infield was in that play, yes. And even with the infield in, the chopper to the shortstop caused the infield to put pressure on themselves to make a play, and it caused them an error. And what did it do? It advanced the runners. 1 run scored. Jeff McNeil has a line drive to the right fielder, sac fly, 2-0 Mets. Just like that. You don't always have to hit a home run. And that's what they were trying to do. And Alonso just popped out to the first baseman. And we're going to the top of the 6th. 2-0 Mets on a sac fly and a ground to the shortstop. That's all you had to do. Look, we didn't even get a base hit with runners in scoring position. And we scored 2 runs. Fundamentals, guys. Fundamentals. So, guys, I kind of got bad news. I got a text from my boss. Oh, boy. All right. So, again, we just talked about it with the Mets. The bigger problem last year was runners in scoring position, couldn't get the sac fly, couldn't put the ball in play. We struck out so many times, ran ourselves out of innings. What did we do just now? A chopper from Lindor, runner scores, other runner advances to third base. Next at bat, Jeff McNeil. Line drive, wanted to get the ball to the outfield. Boom, sac fly, 2-0 Mets. So, a little bit of an issue, guys. Unfortunately, my boss calls me and tells me I have to come in the next hour. So, guess what I have to do? I'm going to have to end the stream in a few minutes. So, just my luck. No, but my boss checks me out every now and then on the stream. So, he actually said, this is exactly what he said to me. He goes, "Hey, Rob, I know I usually don't text you last minute to come in, but we need you. So if you can come in by 9 o'clock, I appreciate it." So what can I do, guys? It's supposed to be 1 a.m. Now it's 9 a.m. So here we go, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get through the top of the sixth, and then I got to be out. So Alex Claudio, who is one of the guys to look out for, he might be one of the lefties in the bullpen as well. The one bullpen, we got him on a minor league deal. So Claudio is a guy who actually can make this team out of the lefty out of the bullpen. So we'll check him out. So he's a bit of a sidearmer. He threw a fastball for 84 miles an hour, so he doesn't throw hard, but he has a sidearm motion. And he threw a nice slider for a strike. Swing and miss, 0-2. Sorry, guys, the Mets happen to play on the next day I'm not off. All right, so 0-2 pitch. And a slider, strike 3. Boom. So Claudio with the nice slide, 2 sliders, 3 pitches, 3 strikes. So again, Alex Claudio is a guy that we have to look out for. He might be the lefty that actually makes the team out of the bullpen. So over the next couple of spring outings, check out Alex Claudio and see. He might be the one lefty that actually makes the team. Thank you, Victor. Fortunately, I have to go to work at 9. But what can you do, right? Got to make the money. So Luis Claudio throws a strike, 2-1. So after the top of the 6, guys, I will end the stream, unfortunately. Usually this doesn't happen. But you know what? Life throws you curveballs, right, guys? So another slider for a strike, 2-2. And a wicked slider. So he has different speed on his slider, Alex Claudio. He has a 77 to 78 miles an hour slider, and then he just threw one that's 70 miles an hour. So he changes up the speed. So he has a full count now. We're 1 out in the 6th. And another slider ground ball to third base. Escobar got it, throws it to first, 2 down. All right, guys. So it's top of the 6th, 2 outs. Claudio threw a strike, so it's 0-1 count. Victor, I'll try. So Alex Claudio throwing the second pitch, and it's a slider line drive, and it is caught by Cortez, the left fielder. So the inning is over. All right, guys. So unfortunately, I have to end the stream a little early because I got called into work. It happens. I'm sorry. But this is fun for the last couple of hours. So once again, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Just so you guys know, this is the way the setup's going to be for games when I go live during games, during spring training, and during the season. So hopefully you guys keep tuning in. I will see you guys next time. Please check out the video that I did regarding the Mets. If they want to go after a trade for Ketel Marte, check that video out if you haven't as yet. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, guys. And don't forget to hit on that like button so this replay can go straight to the top of the list for the replay. So have a good night, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go Mets. Good night, guys.